And here we go. Welcome in to another edition of Bucky and BK. Today is Friday, May 8th, 2026. And we've got a lot to dive into on today's program. Some Longhorn football conversation, including very interesting question about the Texas offense in 2026. Evan Veith from Inside Texas will join the show. We'll preview the UT versus UT baseball series coming up in Knoxville this weekend. We've got some NBA postseason conversation to talk about. The Bucks Gold Star locks for the weekend. The NCAA tournament has officially expanded, and the latest on the Mike Vrabel, Diana Rossini situation, the gift that keeps on giving. So much to talk about on a Friday show. We appreciate y'all spending some of your Friday with us. How are you today, my man?
I am doing well, and a wonderful Friday it is as we're getting ready to go into Mother's Day weekend. And to all the mothers out there, happy Mother's Day. It is something special to my wife. She is a mother for sure. So happy Mother's Day to her and all my family members out there, my sisters who are mothers, and to all the mothers out there. Enjoy this weekend, and hopefully you folks have got something planned for your mother. If you don't, you still got a day and a half. So let's get to it. Let's get to it. Don't have mom cooking over the weekend,
No,
or unless you want a good meal. Yeah, have mom cooking. That's for
should
sure.
be the one day where she doesn't have to cook, right?
Yeah, that's true. It's the one day that she doesn't have to cook. It's always nice to do something for mom when you're around, and mom always likes that those young kids when they come and give them breakfast in bed, no matter what they've done to the kitchen. When she goes, oh my gosh, she the whole time she's in bed, she's thinking, what does that look like out there that I'm going to have to get up and go clean? I tried that a couple times for my mom. I just destroyed the kitchen, but she appreciated it. But she knew what was in store for her the minute she got out of bed.
I never thought about that because my sisters and I did the breakfast in bed bit for my mom growing up, and I guarantee you we left the kitchen a total disaster.
Oh, yeah, just a disaster, right?
And my dad's probably like, I'm not cleaning that. You got to take it, Mom. That's your job.
That's right. You did this for her for Mother's Day. You clean it up. Or it'll be like, don't worry about it. She'll get to it anyway today. She'll get it cleaned up. Oh, no big deal. But to those mothers, happy Mother's Day to all of you for sure. And good day to the soldiers at Fort Hood, Texas, the soldiers in the state of Texas, and all those that fight for us each and every day. Thank you so much for what you do for us. And to the mothers, our military mothers out there, have a wonderful day if you can. And do be safe out there, please.
Yes, indeed. And Coach Gundy has a very special message to all of the mothers out there. Oh, no, that's the wrong.
That's not the one, is it?
I was looking for
mother of children.
Mother of children, yes. You children who have mothers, get out there and get it done for on Sunday. May have some rain on Sunday. No excuse. Hey, no excuse for that day.
No excuse. Take care of mama. The least you could do is give her a call and maybe a card. And if you could see her in person, go see her in person. All right. Right off the bat, Buck, I want to pose a question about the 2026 Texas football team to you.
Okay.
And I'm going to ask you this first. I want to get your answer. And then I'm going to give you some numbers. And then I'm curious if that changes your answer. There's no real right or wrong answer. This is not trivia. This is kind of an opinion question for you.
A trick question.
For Steve Sarkisian, there is ultimately a right or wrong answer. But as a former running backs coach, I figured you were the first and the best person I wanted to ask this to. Who will the Longhorns' short yardage running back be in 2026? Or maybe who should the Longhorns' short yardage running back be in 2026?
Smothers.
You're going Hollywood Smothers.
Yes.
Why is he your choice?
I think he's just a little thicker back. I think he's more of an inside type of rusher. I'm not saying he doesn't have the ability to get outside. He doesn't have the moves, but I think he's got a little bit more power than the other guys. Even the big freshman. I think he's a veteran player. I mean, it's not like he's played in the toughest league in the country, but I think he's more of an inside type of a runner.
So your three candidates, One of them, Hollywood Smothers.
Mhm.
You've got Raleek Brown, the other transfer in from Arizona State. And then you mentioned the freshman phenom, Derek Cooper from the state of Florida. Derek Cooper is the biggest of the three, listed at 6'1", 210 pounds on the Texas roster. You've got Hollywood Smothers, second at 5'11", 195 pounds. And then Raleek Brown, 5'9", $191.
Yeah, and I'm not saying, I'll say this. I'm not saying that Brown can't get it done, because I've seen his body lean and you know, the velocity which he hits a hole, that he could get it done. But if I'm gonna, I'll still count in the other veteran who's just a little bit bigger. And I've seen more runs of him inside, you know, and making things happen inside. The freshman, I don't know if I want to have a specialist. Like I said, there's something for everybody. But if I can get my veteran to be the guy who can get those third down runs, fourth down runs, and I feel good, I don't want to give it away by bringing in even a bigger kid in those situations and saying, "Hey guys, here it comes. Here comes like your punt returner. When he comes in, guess what's happening? He's getting the ball. He's not coming in for us to run play action off of." Now, if you told me they would do some of that, but then again, you want to run the ball. You're not trying to play action pass off of Cooper. If he's in there and it's 3rd and 1, you want to hand it to him and get it, right? You're not trying to trick anybody. This isn't trick 'em. You know, like this wasn't a trick question. This isn't trick 'em 3rd down, 4th down, right? This is turn around and hand it off and getting it done.
Yeah, and Texas was not good enough at that last year.
No, they weren't. So I think Hollywood right now for me.
Okay. Yeah, I think people believe that eventually Derek Cooper will kind of take that role.
I think when he becomes the back, when these two guys are gone, he's doing it all, BK. He's that all guy. He's that 4th down guy. He's the 3rd down guy, because you're giving it to him on 1st down and he's not coming out of the game. You know, when that guy's in the game and it's 3rd and 1, he's going to start getting the ball. He's going to be the guy.
Yeah. The question is, when is eventually? Is eventually not until next year when the other guys are gone, or is eventually at some point in 2026 where it's like, oh man, Derek Cooper is just too good. We've got to find a way to give him a role in this offense as a
well, his role is they're going to be series where I'm bringing him in as he's the guy in there, and it could be the 5th series of the game. But I want to see what that guy can do in games. Those, you know, whether it's Ohio State, Texas State, I want to give him a series where he plays football. I'm not waiting to game 6 or, you know, when we've got a big lead. I want to see what he does under fire.
I agree with that. So I promised you some numbers.
Okay.
And I wonder if this changes your opinion. I'll give On Texas Football credit for compiling this data here. So, you know, typically when you think about a short yardage / goal line running back, you think of some 220, 230 pound bowling ball, basically. Just lowers his shoulder and is instantly falling forward for 2 or 3 yards. Texas doesn't really have one of those guys. Again, the closest thing of the real contenders here is Derek Cooper at 6'1", 210 pounds.
Mm-hmm.
This is fascinating. This stat shocked me because when we've talked about Raleek Brown and the way he's been described by everybody is more of a home run hitter, right? Get him on the outside, let him go. He can be a weapon in the passing game. He's small, but he's fast. He can make guys miss in space. A stat from 2025. When needing 3 yards or less to either pick up a 1st down or score a touchdown, Raleek Brown converted 22 of 27 opportunities last year. That is an 81.5% rate. Only one of those 27 attempts went for negative yards. He averaged 6.7 yards per carry in those situations. 7 of those runs went for 10 or more yards. 3 of them went for 20 or more yards. So not only was he like just converting 3rd and short and 3rd and goal kind of situations, he was turning those into explosive plays when given the opportunity. Hollywood Smothers had 12 of those carries last year, so NC State didn't use him as much in those short yardage situations, and he only converted on 5 of them, which is 41.6%. So different situations, different schools, different offensive lines, different systems. I get it, but the data here, and this shocked me too, because I would have thought maybe Hollywood Smothers, because he's a little bigger, is your better option there. But if you just look at 2025 numbers, Raleek Brown was elite in short yardage situations. So he might be the guy who gets that first chance.
Well, if he's the starter, he is going to get those first chances. They're not going to all of a sudden substitute. If he's the starter, if he starts this year, which I think he will, then he's going to be the guy, those first, until he's not the guy. You know what I'm saying? They're going to give him every opportunity. They know this percentage too. They watch him on film. They know what he's like, whatever he does. To me, he's a slasher, so he can get that. He can find the spot where he needs to get first downs. He doesn't get knocked backwards. I mean, in all of his runs, you don't see him go backwards. You see his speed and his quickness. He's going this way. He's got a really nice body lane. So he's going to get every opportunity. I don't think they're substituting for him. I just look at body types, and what I see from film is I thought the other guy, just because he's just a little bit bigger and he runs inside pretty well. They don't, you get video of Brown, you get a lot of I beat him, he beats him outside and he does some things and makes guys miss. Still, his momentum is always going forward. But you don't get a lot of those they don't show you short yardage tape. Nobody cares. They just want to know explosive plays. But if he's the starter, he's going to get every chance to do that. You're right.
Yeah, I mean, Raleek Brown's compact. He can get skinny through holes. He accelerates quickly. He's got elite change of direction.
And he may not have had this kind of line before either.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't know how good Arizona State's line was last year. Like, were they all that good? They kept getting their quarterback hurt seemingly every other week.
I'll say this. They were better than this line.
Yeah, the bar was low. Well, they were better than last year's Texas line. I hope they're not better than this year's Texas line.
They were better than last year's line.
Well, the bar was
low. There weren't many that weren't.
Yeah, Lake Travis and Westlake had better lines than Texas's line last year, I think. But I also thought, look, some of it's on the offensive line. I also thought the Texas running backs had too much dancing, too much hesitation.
They had to. The hesitation was because of what was up front. And making a decisive move, you could have made a move right into somebody that was there. But I just think these guys they're better ball carriers. So I expect, like I said, I expect Brown. If Brown is that guy and those numbers BK are on, then yeah, if he's a starter, then he's going to get. You're not going to, in game one, going to say, okay, bring in Hollywood for 3rd and 1. No, you're going to leave that same guy in there who's been playing for you. He's going to get it done.
I'm kind of fascinated to see how they deploy these guys throughout the year, right? Is it just one series, Raleek Brown, you're the guy. One series, Hollywood Smothers, you're the guy. One series, Derek Cooper, you're the guy. Or is it, are they going to interchange guys in between series, certain situations, certain personnel packages? Like, what's the exact role?
Yeah, the head coach is going to tell you he's got a feel for it. That's all. Yeah. He's going to tell you, one guy's going really, really well. I'm not taking him out the next, his second series. If he has a great series with a 30-yard run and really gets the ball down the field, I'm not then going to say, okay, you're up next, tint this guy out. No, that guy could be in there for 3 series, and the next guy could come in series number 4. It doesn't have to necessarily be one after the other. It's their turn. It's my turn. It's just how you feel.
And the Texas State game is different than the Ohio State game.
Absolutely.
The SEC games on the Longhorn schedule, but since it's the first game, I'll just use that as an example. Like, let's say Raleek Brown is your starter. He gets the first snaps. Let's say he runs for 44 yards and a touchdown on the Longhorns' opening drive against the Bobcats. Does he get that second possession? Or is it, well, now let's see what Hollywood Smothers has?
No, I give him a second possession. I'm going to keep that guy feeling positive for more than one series. He goes in there because if he does it the first series, I expect the second series, they're not all of a sudden just going to start stuffing him. I want him to have 2 good series. And then maybe the third series, I'll bring another back in and give him a series or 2. And then I'm going to get to Cooper's going to get – that kid's going to get in this game before halftime. I'm finding a way to get him in the game.
In the Texas State game.
Series because I'm expecting some explosive plays against Texas State. So,
yeah, that'd be nice. That's what we're all looking for. Now, I guess every head coach might be different when it comes to this, but you kind of had free reign, or at least close to free reign, when it was regarding which running back you were going to trot out there for certain situations.
Yeah, I had free reign on who was going in, but we practiced certain stuff, short yardage, goal line, stuff like that. Ricky hated to be taken out of the games for Priest Holmes. But Priest Holmes got it done all the time down the goal line. I mean, he'd go over the top. He'd go through you. I mean, I had just two. I mean, I had two guys that could get it done. The other guy, with Sean Mitchell, he was always pissed because why you don't think I can run down to the goal line? I said, no, you better score your touchdowns from 40 yards in. You need to have some explosive plays because we get down to the 4 or 5, and even if it's your series, guess what? I know you're going to say to him, start pointing to the guy to go back, move back, give me the play. It's going to be no. That's those other guys come in there. I don't take any chances. So I used to tell him, you just got to score long touchdowns.
Yeah.
It's not that I don't think you can score them from the 8-yard or whatever. I just don't even want to take that chance. Why should I when you got a guy like Priest Holmes or Ricky Williams? I mean, Ricky was fine with that. Ricky was very selfless when it came to carries, except for, when he got me alone somewhere and started talking about his carries. But he always gave way to Priest down to the goal line. He knew that was coming. He'd be looking over like, here he comes. He's going to jump from the 3-yard line, take off, go over the top. And it wasn't like I can't do that. It was just like that was part of what Priest got an opportunity to do. I mean, I just always talk to guys about better make some long runs because down in the goal line, I have a mindset. Howard Griffith, when I was at the University of Illinois, was incredible at that.
Yeah.
And then I had big backs, big halfbacks. Howard was a fullback, but I had big backs, and I could have easily kept him in. But Howard was unbelievable when you got down to that, 7 or 8 yard line. So it's just a feel, and the head coach is going to say the same thing. It's just a feel. We don't have anybody guaranteed that that's until the one guy can't do it. That's what happens. Mm-hmm. So you figure out that if Brown can't do it, then they'll move right along to the next guy. They got enough guys to do it.
You think Jabbar Jalouk, even though it's year one for him and Steve Sarkisian's the offensive-minded head coach / offensive coordinator, you think Jalouk is going to be given the ability to pick and choose his spots when it comes to who's out there on the field?
No, he hadn't been around here long enough.
Okay. Yeah, that's what I wonder how that – I don't know if Sark will ever get asked
he
that question.
He hadn't been with Sarkisian long enough to be able to say this because Sark is at every practice. He sees everything too. So he just hadn't been here, year number 2 or 3 maybe, when some other new guys come in, different guys come in. But Sark knows what he wants out of his offense, so he sees it. He talks to him about who should be the guy down there.
Yeah, whoever answers it, whatever the answer is, I mean, Texas just has to be better in those short yardage.
Yes, they do. There's no doubt.
Goal line situations, right? You just couldn't feel good about 3rd and 2 or 4th and 1 or goal line situations because this team just didn't have the ability to pick up those yards on the ground. It almost felt like those turned into obvious passing situations because of the Longhorns' inability to run the ball for tough yards. And like you said, the O-line got pushed back way too often. Yeah, I think at times the running backs were a little too hesitant to hit whatever holes were there. They weren't there that often. So the hope is both of those elements are better, and that leads to, Texas having a better running game everywhere on the field, but especially when it comes to those hard-earned yards that could be the difference between winning and losing ball games. But
yeah, I didn't have when I coached, I didn't have a lot of specialists when it came to the run game, except for down, maybe down the goal line, 3rd and 4th down, same to me. That's goal line stuff to me. So I got to get that. But I had more specialists in the passing game as running backs. I mean, I had walk-on guys. Like I told you, that I said, this is how you get in the game. This is how your girlfriend Susie gets a chance to see you. So when you get this chance, catch the ball and fall down. I mean, seriously, and the head coach never said a word to me. He knew what I had guys that would catch for a first down and get to the ground. And, people would be like, why can't he run for another 3 yards? I'm like, because he's not told to run for another. He's told to get a first down.
And then go down.
Give me a first down and don't fumble that ball. Just get down. Come back, you'll get another chance on a 3rd down and whatever I need because this is what your job is. Yeah. I didn't have many runners in that situation, more passing guys out of the backfield for that.
Yeah, well, when you think about short yardage situations, you shouldn't need to get cute, right?
No.
You shouldn't need gadget stuff. It should just be quarterback gets the ball, turns to his side or turns around, hands it to somebody, and boom, they're getting the first down every single time.
I find a way to run over my left guard and my All-American left tackle, whoever was over that guy, dominate him and get me a yard,
Exactly. And a couple of things that help Texas. I mean, you've got Arch Manning, who's a big body and a very good runner himself.
Yeah, that dude's going to start keeping on some of those deals where you think he's going, there's a yard to go. That guy put it on his hip and go around the corner and see you later.
Yeah, well, I thought he was Texas's best short yardage / red zone weapon last year.
Oh, for sure.
Especially in the running game. So You know, I mean, he had 10 rushing touchdowns. Trey Wisner had 3, and he led all the Texas running backs. Now,
Yeah,
some
I
of
mean,
our
I like what you told me about. I like the numbers for Brown. I think that's exceptional. That's just numbers. Those numbers don't they just tell you the truth. So
Yeah, that blew my mind, right? I know the Big 12 is not the SEC. I get that. But to be, 81.5% on 3rd and 3 or, 3 yards to the goal line or less, I mean, that is an absurd success rate. And Jabbar Jalouk, I know Chip Brown has mentioned this quote a couple of times when we've talked to him on Wednesdays. I mean, Jabbar Jalouk recently called him a Tasmanian double,
yes,
AKA a bowling ball with razor blades in it. Like,
yeah, then that's my guy.
yeah, that works. That's the guy I want in as many situations as possible. But definitely, yeah, bowling ball with razor blades in it. I'll take that in 3rd and 1. Thank you very much.
Yeah, those are the guys. Those are the kind of guys you want that
Mhm.
to get that done that way.
And something else that I think Texas could implement, we're kind of talking about picking one, right? Who's the short yardage back? Jake brought it up in the comments. What about 21 personnel? I mean, why not? Like, how tough would it be? Let's say it's 3rd down
It's
and
not.
3, and you've got Arch Manning in the shotgun. You've got Relief Brown to his right and Derek Cooper to his left. And if you're a defense, you're like, all 3 of these guys can pick up this 1st down. I don't know who's
Absolutely.
getting the ball. Like, to me, those guys are all weapons. And obviously, Hollywood Smothers, you throw them in there too. Like, those guys are all weapons to where you force the defense to try to figure out, okay, what we're going to do here. That makes your short yardage offense way more difficult to stop.
Yeah, and if you're expecting that freshman to play as a freshman, I mean, his coach is already working on him as a run blocker and a pass protector. They already know what he can do, what he's capable of doing, that he does have the guts to stick his face in there. That means he's going to do it both in the run and the pass. So if you see both of them in there, now you're not confused on, okay, the freshman's in there. He's the bigger guy. He's getting the ball. No, he may be the better blocker, you know? And so
Yeah.
I would expect that kid, he sounds like a mature football. He's different. He's already seems like he's the different kind of guy. So he's ready to go block. He wants to play. He wants to play as a freshman. He doesn't want to sit around all year on a year where this team may be special, where he's just some guy getting in the game every once in a while, as a gimmick. No, he wants to be a part of this whole thing.
For sure. And the coaches have to trust him. I mean, that's a big part of this for Derek Cooper, right? Like,
And it may
he's
be
got
blocking first, and it may be the guy who's, like you said, with that kind of personnel, be the blocker, the main blocker.
pass
Initially.
protection, blitz pickup, also ball
Right.
security, right? Like, it's,
Oh, yeah.
going from high school, again, going from the ACC and the Big 12 to the SEC is a bit of a jump, but obviously going from high school to the SEC is a
Sure.
monumental jump. So, yeah, those kinds of things. Do your coaches trust you in those big moments? That's going to determine how much Derek Cooper gets to play. Because I think he's got a lot of ability to where he might be good enough right now to be a key contributor on this offense, but he's got to earn the trust of his staff to, again, put him out there in big moments.
Yeah, I mean, the guys that are different, immediately. The running back coach already knows that kid is different. He's just trying to fine tune him. So not only is he good for this year, but he's really going to be exceptional. When the other guys are gone, he is the man.
Mm-hmm.
And he's the man in short yardage. He's the guy coming out of the backfield catching balls. He's catching screen passes. You're not doing a lot of substitution with him. There may be one other back, but you're not going to have 3 or 4 of them that are, you don't take him out of the game. He's the guy that he has to stay. He's one of those type of kids over the next couple of years.
Yeah, and I think, look, part of this year for Derek Cooper is trying to prove to the coaching staff that, hey, I know you guys went out and got 2 portal backs this past year, but you don't need to do that next year because
absolutely.
I'm him.
I'm him. Now you may have to go get a guy who's going to back me up,
right?
but
Yeah, you may need to get somebody, but you don't need to go get 2 like first team all conference players like you did. I got this.
Yeah, I mean those kids that are on your team and you go to the portal, they know why you're going to the portal. They know who you're going to get. They know if you go get 2 running back like that, they feel like you don't have anything coming. But now that kid, he will know if you're going to get a backup or you're going to get a starter. He knows that. He understands what that means.
Mm-hmm. Last year, the Longhorns converted 63.8% of red zone appearances into touchdowns. Like for that number to get a bit higher.
Absolutely.
This year. And again,
I'd like for first down runs to be better. You and I both are like, or so that you can make a decision on second down. Do you have to throw or can you throw just for the hell of it? You don't have to, you don't feel like this is a must. We have to throw the ball. No, we've just picked up 6 yards on the run. If we want to throw the ball, we will. But if we want to run it 2 times in a row, we'll do that too. But it's not like that. Run, get stonewalled, get a yard and a half, and then have to throw for the next 2 downs where you know what you have to do.
Right.
And
Exactly.
if you decided you think you're going to trick them on 3rd down and you're going to go 3rd and 4 and then turn around and run the ball like they've tried to do in the past and get stuffed and then you end up punting, no. You want to dictate what you want to do to the defense this year.
This should be the best offense in the 6 years that Steve Sarkisian has been the head coach at Texas.
I would agree. And I know they got dynamic receivers, but the one year where they had Matthew Golden, that just seemed like, my God, they are so good. Those receivers are so good. Well, because they had a great tight end too. I mean, that goes along with it. I counted the tight end. He might as well have been a wide out, the numbers that he had. So
you could almost argue the year before when they had Worthy and Mitchell together.
Yeah, Worthy and Mitchell together. And they had the tight end then, right? I mean, this was
Sanders, and they had Jordan Whittington. I'd say the 2023 team maybe had the better weapons on the outside. 2024, you had Isaiah Bond, who never quite turned into what you hoped he was going to be.
No, he wasn't what you thought he was going to be.
You did have Gunnar Helm, though, the tight end who you're talking about, who was obviously fantastic. So, those are the two without question, 23 and 24, the two best offenses so far in the Sark era, right? Those two Quinn Ewers years. You've got more talent this year, I think, than you did in either of those two. Now, I don't know if your offensive line is as good as it was in either of those two. So can your offensive line hold up enough to where you give your talent the time to make the plays that they need to make? But
once again, this quarterback is going to save. If your offensive line is just good, they don't have to be great, but they got to be at least good. I don't want to keep saying if they're just average. That's just not enough to win a national championship. They had to be good because the quarterback is good enough to some of your faults. He's going to be able to overcome them in his second year doing this. He knows where he already knows right now where the weak links are. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
One guy he hasn't seen play yet, but he knows the weak links from where they came from and on that offensive line right now. He already knows. He knows if Baker has gotten any better or is he still kind of the weak link.
Why are you saying weak links? Can it just be one? Does it have to be 2 or 3?
Oh, the quarterback knows where they are. He knows where the weak links are at wide receiver running. He knows he has to know all of that stuff.
Yeah, and I think he does. I don't think there are any weak links at running back and wide receiver. And I like the tight ends.
I don't either. Well, he knows who the best one is, the next best, and the next best. I won't call him. When I talk about the offensive line, I talk about weak links. He knows which one isn't up to snuff. If they're average, if they're good, then he can make up for a lot of things. They can't be, just below. They can't just be better than they were last year. They have to be good in order to get to where you get. You can't get just a little bit better than last year. Won't get you a national championship. They got to be good.
I think they got to be very good. I don't know if they're going to be very good, but I think to win a national championship,
you got to stay healthy and they got to be good.
Very good in the trenches. I don't think you can win a title if you're just good. Now, defensive line, I think, is very good to elite. I got no questions about that group. The offensive line, can they be very good?
I don't know about very good, but I know this. They got to be sick of people like us talking about how bad they were. That has to drive the coach crazy, not just the head coach, but if I'm the offensive line coach, if I was the running back coach and people were talking about my group being the worst running back group since the 40s, do you know how pissed I would be? It would be all day, every day, me reminding those guys of that. When I see them walking in the office, I'd let them know. I put 1944 up on the board so they saw that every day. That would be my motto. I'd be after them all the time about that. If that was the second worst group of runners in the history of the school at Texas.
You know how to shut us up?
Yeah, that's true.
We'll play better. We're not unfair. At least I don't think we're unfair. I might be biased, but
no, I know we're not unfair. I mean, we didn't totally dog them. They dogged themselves. That's how
they were bad. Like every other radio show and podcast and beat writer and fan, it's all the same thing that we saw. The offensive line was not good last year. It was bad. I'm being nice by saying not good. It was bad. So it was the biggest problem on a Texas team that totally underachieved.
And the runners were bad. The runners weren't good either.
No, it wasn't just the offensive line. The running game, the runners were not great. I mean, Arch obviously had his struggles early on. The receivers dropped too much. The defense had their issue. So
they were not good offensively.
It takes a village. It takes a village to underachieve. It's the ultimate team game. The team has to be bad if you're going to not be good. But the offensive line was the worst problem that Texas had last year.
Yeah, okay, that's fair. That's fair enough right there.
So they got to get that cleaned up for sure. And $5 Dill says, look, the O-line in 23 and 24 wasn't that good. You couldn't run goal line against OSU.
That's true.
That was in the semifinals of the college football playoff. Last year's
there,
Texas offensive line couldn't run the ball against UTEP. So, yeah, I'm not trying to make the 23 and 24 O-line sound like the Cowboys in the 90s. But, yeah, they were a hell of a lot better than what we had last season. There's no doubt about that. No doubt. All right, we'll take your thoughts. Good Texas football conversation to open up a Friday show. We'll get back into the Longhorn chatter. Evan Veith of Inside Texas will join us at the top of the hour. We've got some NBA playoffs, though, we need to get into. The Buck did make the people some money. Get to a little Longhorn baseball conversation as well. But before anything else, my friend, how about our first round of sponsor shout-outs?
For a long time, I was searching for the right support for my back, and I finally got it. Well, it's been 20 years now. I found out about Relax the Back. Relax the Back embraces a holistic approach for a healthier lifestyle. And, folks, my back couldn't be happier. And you can make yourself feel a lot better, too. If you got people in your family that complain about lower back pain, neck pain, send them over to the Relax the Back store. They have got everything that you're looking for and more, as a matter of fact. Zero gravity recliners, select massage chair, adjustable mattress sets, of course, Tempur-Pedic pillows and mattress sets there at Relax the Back. Two great locations. One is at the Hill Country Galleria across from Whole Foods, and in North Austin at the Gateway Shopping Center, right across the street from the Container Store. Live pain-free like the Buck at Relax the Back. I'm feeling good, BK, after being over at St. Patrick yesterday and being in that metal chair. Guess what? My Relax the Back chair is saving me, brother.
You got to start bringing that chair to the shows we do on the road.
Yeah, this one's too heavy. This one's too big.
It is pretty big.
Going up and down the steps with this thing, no way.
No chance. Just lifting that thing in the car is too much.
I know. Oh, my goodness.
Sturdy. Shout out to Relax the Bag. Also, some love to audio-visual consultations. You know what? How about a word from our guy, Tom McKay, and the kid over at AVC?
Now, stepping up to the plate is a household name, weighing in at roughly 115 pounds with a wingspan of 98 inches. It's Samsung.
Kid, I know it's baseball season, but this isn't what I meant when I said to incorporate sports into the company commercial.
Sorry, old man. I just want everyone to know that audiovisual consultations can make your home feel like a stadium.
That's true. Audiovisual provides stadium surround sound, huge screen video, controlled lighting, and even temperature control. On our roster, every customer is an MVP.
Sounds like audiovisual knows how to score a home run with our customers.
All right, kid, that's enough with the baseball puns.
But I'm trying to tell everyone that audiovisual is a real catch. You'll love our services.
Kid?
There's nothing coming out of left field when you give us a call. We won't break your balls.
Kid, we only have a minute.
Pitch, please. I don't need your attitude right now.
Rest assured, listeners, audiovisual is much better at installing and designing custom home theaters than we are at making jokes.
Just check our stats. Give us a call at 512-255-8678 or visit us online at avconsultations.com.
Very nice. Of course, our friends over at Texas Orthopedics. You're seeking specialized patient-focused orthopedic care. You're that weekend warrior that's starting to feel the pains of knees and ankles and shoulders, and you just don't know what to do. What should I do? Do I get surgery? Do I go to somebody and maybe have non-surgical? Well, they do both. They do surgery and non-surgical orthopedic care for children and adults, spinal care, sports medicine, joint replacement. Dr. Danny, Dr. Stockton are fantastic people and dedicated orthopedic surgeons. Their goal is to get you right back into good health and the great quality of life that you deserve. Texas Orthopedics is the largest independent orthopedic practice in Central Texas. For more information, go to txortho.com.
Yes, indeed. Love Texas Orthopedics. And also a shout out to our friends at the Altstadt Brewery. If you're looking for something to do this weekend, how about a trip to the Altstadt Brewery? If your mom's a beer drinker, wifey's a beer drinker.
Yeah.
You know what makes for a good Mother's Day gift? 6-pack of Altstadt beer.
Absolutely.
Maybe a couple of 6-packs of Altstadt beer. Or maybe a trip to Fredericksburg. Maybe she's wanted to go check out the wineries out there. You're like, you know what, I'll go, but can we stop by Altstadt first? And you should. I mean, this place is awesome. Of course, you get to try all the great Altstadt beers. They've got a German-style restaurant serving up all sorts of European cuisine from a former Michelin star chef. They've got an indoor venue, live music. They've got an outdoor beer garden, something for everybody out there. Go check out the Altstadt Brewery. And again, whatever you've got going on this weekend, watching sports, going out, hanging out at home, whatever, your good times are made better with a great beer. The best beer that you could find is Altstadt. Please remember to drink it responsibly. It is the official beer of BK, and it should be the official beer of you as well. It is Altstadt beer. No impurities, no regrets. All right, little NBA playoff conversation here, Buck. You made the people some money last night.
Yeah, nothing big.
You had 3 plays. There were only 3 games, 2 in the NBA and 1 in the NHL. You got both of your basketball picks correct. And your Philadelphia Flyers did not come through for you.
Yeah, that's partly on you. You're hammering me about being a Flyers fan from way back and not trusting the Flyers. They stink.
Oh, they beat the Penguins in round 1.
Pittsburgh's no good either.
Carolina's very good.
Yes.
And they were the best team in the East all year long.
Are they now winning? Are they 3-0 now?
They're up 3-0 in this series, and
Okay,
they've played 7 games in the playoffs. They've won all 7 of them.
Yeah, it's over for the Flyers.
So they're making pretty quick work. You know, you can't put a gold star lock on game 4. That's tomorrow in the NHL. I will let you do that, even though the Hurricanes are huge favorites, so I shouldn't be giving you the chance.
Where's that game? Is that back in Carolina?
Philly.
Still in Philly? I'll take
is.
150,000 unit play on Carolina to sweep these goofballs from Philly.
See, I feel like I shouldn't give you this because Carolina's like a minus 200 favorite. That's easy money right there.
I'll put 200,000 units on that then.
Here's how it's going to have to work.
No. You can't change. Hey,
we do spreads in basketball. You want to do spreads in hockey now?
No.
Okay. Well, then I got to play the juice. I can't gift you units, sir. You got to do this the right way. If you want 200,000 units on the Canes, that's fine. But you're only going to get 100,000 units if they win. You're going to lose 200,000 if you lose.
Okay, it's worth it. This is a sweep.
Okay, so you're doing a 2-1. I'm writing that down. 100,000 units on the Hurricanes tomorrow. All right, we'll get to your other picks in a moment, but going back to last night's action, more so in the NBA. The Detroit Pistons, you got that pick right, sir. You were very confident in the Pistons. You had 100,000 units on them to cover the 3.5 against Cleveland. They did 107-97, the final score. 5 straight wins for Detroit, by the way. Remember, they went down 3-1 to Orlando in round 1. They've won 5 straight games, so they've started.
They're kind of high in the hog right now.
Yeah. The big storyline from this game has nothing to do with Detroit. It has everything to do with James Harden.
Oh, no, not James Harden in the playoffs again.
Who just continues to be the least clutch star in NBA history. Last night, 3 for 13 shooting. He had just 10 points. He also had 4 turnovers, so more turnovers than baskets made, including a huge one in the last minute with the Cavs down by 2 possessions with a chance to, get back into the game and maybe force overtime. He stinks.
Yes, he does.
How about some postseason numbers, not just from last night? This just goes to show you how horrible James Harden is this time of the year. Last night was his 182nd career playoff game. It was the 36th time where he's made 3 or fewer field goals. It's nearly 20%. And this guy's a Hall of Fame player. This guy led the league in scoring multiple years. This guy's been an MVP. 20% of his playoff games, he's made 3 shots or less.
Wow.
Last night was the 46th time where he's had as many or more turnovers than field goals made. More than 25% of the playoff games he's played, and he's turned the ball over as much or more than the amount of shots that he's made.
I'm not throwing him the ball.
This year he's played 9 playoff games. in 4 of them, he's had more turnovers than field goals made. So he's getting worse. And he broke Bob Cousy's record, which I always was told Bob Cousy was good. I didn't realize he was also a bum. Bob Cousy's record for the most playoff games in which he shot 25% or less in NBA history. Minimum of 10 attempts. So he's jacking up shots like he always does. He's James Harden. But in the regular season, especially in his prime, they were going in. In the postseason, they're not.
No.
And
even in his prime, they're not going in the postseason.
No. I mean, that was the problem in Houston. He'd put up ridiculous regular season numbers, and he wasn't this bad in the playoffs, but his production would dip in a huge way. And that's why the Rockets could never get over the hump.
Aaron Judge. Sounds like the direction of Aaron Judge.
Kind of is. I think Aaron Judge is a better player than James Harden, but yeah, I mean, he's a guy who in the postseason just hasn't been good enough. I think Aaron Judge has had more big playoff moments than James Harden has in his career.
Probably, yes.
And Aaron Judge has been to the finals, the World Series, while James Harden has not. Cleveland traded for this guy. Any team that trades for James Harden, and I kind of felt this way about Russell Westbrook. Funny enough, those guys were teammates multiple times in their careers. Any team that trades for one of those guys and thinks he's the guy who's going to get us over the hump.
No, he's not.
That's what Cleveland did this year. And he stinks in the playoffs. It's just, we have a big enough sample size now to know. And it wasn't just him. I mean, Cleveland as a team totally fell apart last night. But James Harden, the point guard, the guy who has the ball in his hands more than anybody else, he continues to absolutely blow.
And he just gives the ball away.
He just gives it away. He just gives it away. Your other game last night, the Oklahoma City Thunder, they've played 6 playoff games. They've won 6 playoff games. They go up 2-0 on the Lakers, 125-107, the final score. This game was much more competitive than game 1. The Lakers actually led by 4 points kind of midway through the third, but Oklahoma City went on a big run. Funny enough, when SGA was on the bench, that's when Oklahoma City kind of turned it on and took control. And they're too good. They're too deep. They also get every single call.
Yes, they do.
I can't imagine you were awake for this. I don't know if you saw this on SportsCenter, but literally the Lakers huddled with the refs after the game on the court. Like, please stop falling for everything that they do. And I don't like the Lakers at all. And LeBron's a flopper. Like, everybody's a flopper in the league. But the Thunder, the way they play basketball is very tough.
They're much more physical than they seem to be. They're kind of falling all over the place. Like every time they come down, somebody touches somebody. I see a guy falling into the stands or whatever. That's garbage.
It's garbage. And it feels like anytime the Thunder flop around, they get the calls. And anytime the Lakers try to be physical, it's a foul on them.
Yeah.
So it's very and LA is not the first team to deal with this in the last couple of years. Like, so many teams and players have come out and said, these guys are a nightmare to play against because, and look, to the Thunder's credit, it's not their fault. They're gaming the system. They're doing what they should be doing, and they do it better than anybody else does.
Quit fouling the you-know-what out of them. You know what I mean? Come on.
Yeah, Sean Miller. But it is just a tough product to watch if you're a basketball fan. And the Thunder,
and they're good. And they're good.
They're good. They won it all. They've won every playoff game so far. They're probably going to win it all again. I mean, obviously, the Spurs can be the team to get in their way. I don't think anybody in the East is good enough to beat them. So it kind of feels like if you're rooting against OKC, you're rooting for San Antonio right now. But I know the Spurs beat them 4 out of 5 in the regular year. I wouldn't pick the Spurs to beat OKC right now. They're doing all this again without Jalen Williams, who's their second best player. And SGA averaged 31 in the season. He's averaging 20 in this round, and the Thunder are still killing the Lakers.
Yeah, Lakers they got plenty of excuses. They're just not good enough to beat them.
Yeah, without Luka. I mean, even with Luka, I don't think they're good enough to beat them. But without Luka, there's
no.
I mean, Game 3's tomorrow in LA, and the Thunder are 8.5-point favorites. The Thunder are going to be favored in every game in this series.
I'll take the Lakers for 50,000 unit play.
You're giving them one?
I'm giving them one.
Are you giving them a win, or are you just giving them a cover?
I'm just giving them some hope. That's about it, that they'll lose by 7.
Okay. Yeah, so there's
They won't
your
get run off their own court.
yes, I don't know. I have a hard time thinking the Lakers are gonna win a game unless
Oh,
Luka
no,
magically
LeBron's gonna get
returns.
every court. LeBron's gonna be laying on the floor holding his ankles and everything else, and he's gonna get the calls at home this one.
Maybe.
I mean, you huddling around the referees. The NBA, they're gonna make sure that this one, the Lakers, they may even get a win.
I feel like the NBA just for some reason they really like these smaller market teams and want them to be successful, which feels contradictory to how a lot of sports typically operate, where it's like we want LA and Boston and New York to always be the best every single year.
Well, this particular small market is dominating over the
It was
last
like it was San Antonio forever. And as a
Yeah.
guy, I don't hate this iteration of the Spurs the way I did the childhood Spurs, but it's just like, God, they won the lottery again. Like, how does this keep working for them? And now I feel like that's what Oklahoma City has become. They've
Yes.
become the new San Antonio, where the league just kind of goes out of their way to make sure that they are taken care of. And I don't like it very much. So we'll see what happens there. And tonight, speaking of San Antonio, Buck, the Spurs are back in action. 2 games in the NBA, 2 game threes. We'll start with, I guess, the first game. Can your 76ers get on the board against the Knicks?
They are at home, correct?
They are at home. And they are 1.5-point favorites.
Yeah, let's go ahead. Let's go, and I'll show you how I love my 76ers. I'll put 50,000 unit play on the Sixers.
Okay, -1.5 at home tonight.
Yeah.
Do the Sixers fans outnumber the Knicks fans like Joel Embiid?
No, there'll be more Knicks. There'll be more Knicks fans. That's okay.
Joel Embiid going to play tonight?
It's a game time decision. We're going to make that a game time decision.
He's been listed as questionable for this one. So
Guys who do their own surgeries on have an appendectomy and does their own surgeries, he's got a chance. He'll play. He's physically ready to go now.
Are you reporting that he took his own appendix out?
Yeah, that's how he showed the toughness of playing those couple of games. Now he's a little bit weakened from that, but he'll be there tonight for him.
Okay, the appendix is affecting the ankle and the knee and the hip and everything else.
When you do your own surgeries, those things are likely to happen.
The appendix bone is connected to the hip bone, as that old song once said.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, Philly is your pick. And then Spurs Wolves in Minnesota. San Antonio, a 4.5-point road favorite. Obviously, that series tied at a game apiece. San Antonio, a big-time bounce back in game 2, dominating Minnesota in every facet of the game. They set the tone early and stepped on the Wolves' throats. Does Minnesota get the bounce back at home, or do the Spurs go up for the first time in this series?
I think the Spurs go up. I'll take 50,000 to play on the Spurs.
I do
think
too.
This is their road win.
And again, I'm still trying to figure out how healthy Ant-Man really is. And, he's played 25 and 24 minutes in the first 2 games of the series. Does he go beyond that in this one? And just if Wemby remembers he's taller and bigger than everybody else on the floor, then he's just such a tough matchup for anybody, but especially this Minnesota team. It's just, can those young role players on San Antonio step up the way that they did? Like the guys who set the tone for the Spurs in game 2 were Wemby and Fox. They need to set the tone tonight. Again, when you go on the road, your role players aren't always as good away from home. Those guys have to set the tone.
Yes, they do.
Can Champagne have a good night? Can Castle have a good night? Can Cornette make an impact off the bench? Can Harper have it? But they got plenty of options. It's a deep team. Can somebody join those two? But those two need to be there, I think, for San Antonio.
I think Castle will have a big night tonight.
Yeah, I like that pick. I do too. He almost feels like he's a veteran at this point. Year 3 in the league.
Right.
Some of those guys he might be. But, I like the Spurs in this game as well. And then in hockey, or on the subject of Gold Star locks, you've got 2 games tonight. Montreal at Buffalo. Sabres lead that one 1-0.
And I'll take a 50,000 to play on them because they'll win again.
Sticking with the home team in that?
Yeah.
And then you've got Vegas and Anaheim. Series tied at 1, going down to Orange County.
I'll take the Ducks for 50,000 unit play.
The Mighty Ducks.
The Mighty Ducks. I'm about to make you people money.
Okay.
We're going to get well this weekend.
I feel like I've heard that before.
For the last couple of years, it's just what happens.
Well,
it's happened.
Not in these playoffs. I feel like you've said that in these playoffs. And
we got to give the people something to watch and get them excited about it. Plus, the end of school's coming. They got vacations. Gas prices are up. Fuel's up. They need me to come through now.
You're just building up the drama. I like this.
Yes.
You don't want it to be easy. You're building up the suspense. You're creating conflict. This is what happens in good movies, right? There's always a problem that someone's got to solve. You've created the problem of being down 300,000 units at this moment in time, but you're going to be the hero to solve the problem and get everybody right and have the happy ending like Deshaun Watson always wanted.
Yeah, like listen, I like to be up and stay up, folks. Just so you know that I don't like the drama.
Why do you do it every year? You give us the drama every year.
I don't like the drama. I like when I'm up 400,000 units and I can play free and easy. Right now, I'm just holding on for dear lives, never to freaking bet anything on the Flyers ever again. They're done.
You've got one more game you can bet on. See, we don't have lines for Sunday yet, but today and tomorrow's games we do. The basketball game, the other basketball game tomorrow, you already gave a pick on the Lakers against the Thunder. But Pistons-Cavs game 3 in Cleveland.
Yeah, I'll take the Cleveland Cavaliers for 100,000 units there.
Care what the line is?
6.
Who do you think's favored?
Cleveland.
Okay, that's 4.5. You're getting a better number than you thought.
Yeah, I'll take Cleveland for 100,000 to play at home because they have to win that game.
They do. And the Cavs are 4-0 at home in these playoffs. They haven't won a road game, right? Their first-round series against Toronto was the home team won all 7 games.
Right.
Which works when you're the higher seed. Cleveland is not the higher seed this time, so they need to change that strategy. But, yeah, they obviously have to take care of business in these next 2.
Yep, they'll do that.
Can James Harden pass the ball to his team is the biggest question.
Yeah, they got the same colored jerseys that you're wearing, James.
It shouldn't be that difficult to figure out. But
after all these years of playing basketball, who's your team and who's the opposing team? You should be able to figure that out.
They call him Little Game James.
Wow.
Everybody named James is Big Game James.
Yeah.
I don't know why Little Game James hasn't become like the nickname for the beard. He ain't the beard anymore. He's Little Game James. Sorry about that, Hardo. Can't have it.
Terrible.
Well, Buck, it is official. Evan Veith will join us in a few minutes. That's not what's official, but something we talked about maybe a week or 2 ago about being a possibility, and it felt like a matter of when, not if, this was going to happen. The win was yesterday. The NCAA tournament will officially expand to 76 teams starting next year.
And we're doing it in the same time frame. I mean, it won't be any longer, will it? Will it still stay within the same? So they say.
So what's going to change is how the first 4 operates, right? The first 4 is kind of going away, and instead there will be a 12-game opening round.
So those they matter.
Yeah, they're kind of like play-in games, which Texas has obviously been a part of those the last 2 years. Now, technically, they count as tournament games, which I think is kind of ridiculous, but whatever. It's just verbiage. But instead of, 4 of those games on Tuesday and Wednesday, you're now going to have 12 of those games on Tuesday and Wednesday. So the tournament's still going to start the same day. You'll still have the round of 64 on Thursday and Friday, the way it's been. You just have more of those play-in opening round games, if you will. And it's both for the men's and the women's. Yep. And for the men's side, they're going to keep games in Dayton, but they're also going to pick a second city to put the other set. So 6 games will be in Dayton, and then 6 games will be somewhere else west of the Mississippi River is the expectation. And they will just do that. And the winner of those games will fill out the remainder of the bracket.
There you go. Put that crap in Fresno or something.
Oh, you're going that far west?
Yeah, go ahead.
Nobody goes. California sports fans suck. No one's going to go to those games.
I'm saying nobody can't. They're not going. Put it way out there.
Yeah, and it'll be half of the 24 opening round teams will be the lowest seeded automatic qualifiers. So you'll still get those 16 versus 16. Now you'll get 15 versus 15 games. And then the other half will be the at-large type. Again,
in other words, folks, your brackets will be all screwed up really early this year.
Well, I mean, the way it's worked in the past is you don't have to pick the first 4 games. Like the brackets don't count until the round of 64. So
these matter.
I don't know if it's going to remain that way or if all of a sudden ESPN and Yahoo and CBS and all the people who make these bracket challenges, if they're like, no, now you have to accurately pick the opening round games too. I don't know. It's a great question because that's what people love maybe the most about March Madness is filling out a bracket. How does this get impacted by these rules? So, yeah, people hate it.
And this one, you'll have to be getting ready 2 weeks in advance so you get your bracket in on time.
Right. Well, again, Selection Sunday is the same day, so you don't have that much time.
I know you don't have a lot of time.
So I don't think they're going to change the way the brackets are done. I think it's still going to operate the way it's been done.
Sure.
Maybe there's like a separate challenge. If you want to pick those opening round games, you can. But if you want to do it the way you've been doing it, then you could keep that. But yeah, the largest increase since the tournament went to 64 teams in 1985.
So how many are we at now?
76.
Yeah, we'll be to 80s.
Men's and women.
Here shortly.
Just more March Madness. And I'll say this, like, we all know this is about money. There's no hot take you could have that says anything opposite. But I do get a little annoyed when some fans are complaining about this. If you're like a diehard college basketball fan who watches from November on, then I think you can be upset about this because it does kind of diminish the value of the regular season. But so many people out there aren't college basketball fans until March.
Right.
Like, all they watch is the tournament, which is why the tournament is the only thing that makes money for college basketball all year round. So if you're one of those fans who's like, I don't care about college basketball until March, you're the reason this is happening. Because everyone's heard and everyone's seen the numbers of how much you watch in March. So the NCAA and the TV partners are like, well, let's just put more games in March. Because people like the tournament.
Yep.
So again, I don't love it. You're entitled to your opinion to love it or not love it. But if you're one of those, I don't care about college basketball until the tournament, and then why are they adding more games to the tournament, people, then you're talking out of both sides of your mouth.
Yes, you are.
So there's my take. But there you go. Starting next year, men's and women's, by the way. I pray that Texas does not find itself in the opening round.
Oh.
Something would have gone horrifically wrong if year 2 under Sean Miller ends up with Texas playing in Dayton or where'd you say, Fresno?
Fresno, yeah.
Putting them in Fresno. I don't want to see Impractical Jokers ads during a Texas basketball opening round game again. I can't deal with that 3 years in a row. All right. I can't deal with it. So we'll take your thoughts. The code of text line 512-222-9328. All right, before we chop it up with Evan Veith, we'll talk some Texas baseball. Big series for the Longhorns in Knoxville this weekend. We'll get some Texas basketball and football thoughts as well with Evan. But before he jumps on, how about our next round of sponsor shout-outs?
So our good friends over at Sue Patrick, which was a fantastic event yesterday over at Sue Patrick. We met a lot of folks and a lot of people came in. Mother's Day special still available for you. You got today, you got Saturday, but get it done. And you can get it done over at, of course, Sue Patrick's. They've got some really, really nice gear there for mom. They really do. They've got purses, they've got shoes. I mean, the Longhorn shoes, the Nike shoes were incredible. Those are nice, BK. That's a nice pair of kicks right there that Jay's got over at Sue Patrick. So they've got all kinds of Texas themed gifts, items, a wide variety of men's and women's clothing, some new polos over there. New shirts, go out to dinner shirts, folks. You're going to love it when you go over to Sue Patrick. Plenty of free parking right there available for you. Online orders of $59 or more, free curbside pickup. The Jelly Cats are there. And what's the other deal that's over there, BK? What were the other things, not the Jelly Cats headquarters any longer? What are the name of that? What's the name of that, the stuff that the kids like? Tell me what that is again.
Nido.
What the hell is that, Nido? Is that another form of Beanie Baby?
No, it's like squishy sensory toys.
Sensory toys, like take them on the airplane with you to keep yourself calm. If you're in the middle aisle, you should have this instead of elbowing both sides.
Yeah, you have to grab those toys instead of whoever's sitting next to you like that.
I got you. There you go.
Well, that's what you were doing. I thought you were
Ninos, they're called.
Nido.
Mm-hmm. Who's into it in your family? Your sister's into Nidos?
My girlfriend is into the Nido.
Okay, then they must cost some coin. They must be in the Jelly Cat range then.
No, they don't. They sell
Really?
It's just the craze these days, man. Like, they sell out like crazy. Every time they get a new shipment in, within 2 hours, they're sold out at St. Patrick.
So does Bucky need to get into the Nitos? Because, I like to collect these things for my grandkids, give them to my grandson, my granddaughter, instead of, I don't like to keep a lot of things for myself.
I don't know. Maybe. The Nitos.
All right. For more information, go to SuePatrick.com, folks.
Yes, indeed. And also shout out to our friends at Early Bird CBD. Our guy Michael with the comment. Early shout out to Early Bird. It's on the way. Thank you for supporting our sponsors, Michael. And hey, we love Early Bird, and we know you will too. Don't forget the promo code. You can be like Mike. If you use the promo code Bucky, you're going to get 20% off Early Bird CBD. They've got the drops. Drop these into any drink, your juice, your sparkling water.
Use that before my last round of golf. Shot a smooth 80, 88. And that's fine with me. 88's okay. Anything in the 80s right now is good. Been taking some money from my buddies. Thank you, Early Bird.
Were you playing at Peter Pan or something?
No. Played at a legitimate golf course, Valor Creek in Blanco.
I remember that, Blanco. Yeah, well, hey, you can be like the Buck with the drops on the golf course. They've got the gummies as well. I take them just to relax. It's Friday. I am telling you right now, tonight, I'll probably go gummy tonight with the Early Bird CBD.
There you go.
Just watch the playoff basketball, watch a little playoff hockey, watch Texas baseball, and then melt into my couch and then sleep for 15 hours. That's my Friday night. Yeah. Early Bird CBD, local Austin company. We love them. They love us. You'll love them too. earlybirdcbd.com.
Sweet.
All right. Speaking of people we love, Evan Veith of Inside Texas joining us here on Bucky and BK. Find his work on Twitter at Evan Veith. You can find his other work on InsideTexas.com. And he's kind enough to join us pretty much every Friday on this show. Evan, thanks again for the time, man. How are you?
I'm good. I always love how every time I come on these Fridays, there's some weird conversation going on.
Oh, yeah, of course.
About belts and pants or Nitos, whatever those are. I heard you guys talking about jelly cats, and my girlfriend's in the other room. I'm like, she probably perked up when she heard that coming out on the speaker because she loves those things. But it's good to be back. I love being on this show on Fridays, and just a good time with y'all.
Right. You never know. You never know what you're going to get with this, Evan.
Yeah, there's no telling what you get on a Friday or Thursday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Monday. Who knows? Let me ask you this, Evan, about this. BK and I earlier in our show had talked about the Texas Longhorns and the running backs and short yardage, and he had this stat on Malik Brown that's just incredible about his short yardage runs for a guy that's not. I don't think he's a 200-pounder, 190 or whatever. And this guy, like 81% of the time, is going to get you yards in the plus in short. I mean, it's incredible. And I'm looking and saying, well, if he's the starter, he's going to get every opportunity to do just that. I don't think they're looking for specialists. They're not looking for Cooper because he's a big back to be the specialist. They're looking for a guy who goes, north and south and gets you what you have to. You don't need a specialist for that. And, when you watch him run, he's a slasher to me. I mean, and when I say slasher, that means he can run inside the tackles. And BK's got stats to prove that just that when it comes to short yardage. So I'm not in tune to trying to find a specialist to be the short, goal line, whatever. If whoever gets it done, there's not going to be anybody else coming in to take his place, I believe.
Well, when you look at Sark's offenses from these 5 years that we've had here, and he's just never really been a power back specialist kind of guy. He's never felt the need to bring it in the portal, and he kind of just had Roschon Johnson already, but it wasn't like he was always relieving Bijan. Like Bijan would get those goal line carries because how are you going to keep him away from the goal line if he's already earned you the 80 yards to get there? But I think all three of the top three running backs coming in have arguments to take some of those early or 3rd and 1 or goal line or just go get me 2 yards diving into a hole carries. I think Brown, we've talked about that success rate, and that was a stat that's been going around Twitter a lot. And success rate is probably the most underrated stat in the run game that you'll find around college football. I think it's kind of teetering in between that advanced stat, but also it's pretty self-explanatory. It's just, are you successful? There's ways to easily measure that on each down. And, if you're an 80% success rate in short yardage, I'd sure hope that you're the guy who's getting those carries as the power back. He's really built like bowling ball's not the word because that makes him sound more round than he is, but he's short and he gets a lot of mass when he tucks. So he just kind of can run through people. And I think he's going to be a hard guy to tackle in between just because of how small he is. And that's where Hollywood Smothers, I think, on your first down runs where you're trying to get in between the tackles, is going to play a little bit better because he's just a little bit more nimble with his feet when it's really, really tight. Whereas Brown, he can put his head down and he can run outside of the tackles. I'm not sure as much about him doing, a stretch zone run in between a right tackle and a right guard. That might be where Smothers really gets his work done. I think where people are underrating Smothers a bit, but I'm all for Raleek Brown being that goal line, go get you that 2 yards that you need. Texas had a lot of problems with that. Arch Manning was probably their best goal line power guy this last year. Before that, it was probably Matthew Golden as a wide receiver, just kind of thrown to the pylon. That was your best goal line look. The tight ends, it's just never been a part of Sark's offense to have them be the focal points there at the goal line. Maybe Nick Townsend end arounds will still be part of the diet for that offense. But I think Brown has a good chance to take those carries. And I do think like Derek Cooper, he is another guy who can just be big and put his head down and go forward. So that's one where the red zone, that first game that you see before Ohio State, I believe it's Texas State to kick it off. Like, who's taking those carries? Who's in there? We've also on Inside Texas been looking at some throwing plays where you just find creative ways to get the running back in the flat one-on-one with a tackle who just can't get him there. And that's where Smothers may be better, but it's also if you just need a guy to burst out, that's where Raleek Brown just gets a full head of steam, and he's going to be hard to take down at 5'9". I believe 5'9", 195 is about where he's at right now.
Yeah, I think he's at 191 on the Texas roster.
Oh, really?
Which,
okay.
Yeah, I don't know if that means he's lost weight or not, but it's interesting to think about that guy potentially being your best short yardage back with those measurements. I guess kind of a follow-up to that, Evan. I am certain you have written an article about this, and if not you, Paul or Ian or somebody over – it feels like Texas fans for years have clamored for more 21 personnel or 20 personnel, right? Multiple running backs on the field at the same time. Doesn't feel like we should have to pick and choose, hey, which of these three are we going to have on the field? It feels like you could have two of those guys, and maybe that's your best offense. You think this is the year that we finally see more of that, or is Sark kind of stuck in his ways being more 11 and 12 personnel focused?
Yeah, our Ian Boyd is the guy who's really good with personnel packages and explaining to people who like football but don't quite understand what's going on why you'd employ these things. And I thought last year would have been a really good year to do it with Niblett a little more. And I think that was an underutilized part of Sarkisian's offense. But now this year, I mean, if you're including him, which I think in a 21 personnel discussion, he should be in there as, not your traditional back, but just another guy in the backfield to be motioning around and orbiting, and he can block pretty well as well. Yeah, you've got four guys there that you want to get the ball in their hands and give them chances. So I think you're just going to see a balance in the Sark offense. I do think that you're going to get your 11 personnel on passing downs, but there's going to be a lot of 12. Like, they're going to want to run the ball behind two tight ends and force Townsend and Masunis against linebackers and edge rushers who, in theory, they can block. That didn't happen last year. I think the team is better to do it this year. So we'll see how well that works out. But I do like the idea in your second and threes. You had a successful first down. Mm-hmm. You're in the 40s area of the field where you hunt explosives. Like, I would love to see a package where you get those two running backs in, and even if 20 personnel would intrigue me, where you take the tight end off the field and you still have Coleman, Wingo, and either Bishop or Mosley. And then the defense is looking at themselves going, I don't think we have the numbers to guard any of these guys. Like, we can't leave Coleman one-on-one if he's going deep. Like, that's just a mismatch because he's a jump ball specialist. You have to have multiple people accounting for Ryan Wingo in space. Same with Niblett if he's out there. And then you got two running backs who most of the time, most of these college linebackers can't guard him in coverage as well as you'd like. So I'm interested in 20, really. I think there's going to be some weirder ones that you see come out that aren't going to be staples of the offense, but like 20 personnel and then 13 personnel with the three tight ends, because that's something that you're seeing the McVay offense do. And Sark loves talking to Sean McVay about scheme and things like that. And Texas has four tight ends that you can throw out there at a time. So watch out for that. Either taking not random, but spots on the field that you're accustomed just always being there in 11 or 12. Watch for them to really manipulate the defenses with some odd looks on the personnel side of things.
Yeah, and they need to do that early in the season. This can't be game 5 and them experimenting. We've been trying this. They need to do it, when the summer comes and they're ready for game 1 against Texas State. They need to be implementing these things in that game, the second game, the third game, and not finding out where they are game 5. And we're all wondering, what are they trying to do? They need to know what they're doing this team needs to start faster offensively from the jump, this year.
Yeah, I think with Ohio State, because it's such that monumental game, and really looking at this schedule, the more and more you see these teams, you're like, Ohio State kind of feels like a must-win in week 2 because of the way this Texas schedule. You just don't want to go into the SEC with 9 games and the teams you're playing down a loss. But I do think they're going to have their opening scripts and ideas for two drives that they're not going to show anything of in that first game. But at some point, Sark, and we've been talking about this on Twitter, I think Crane and Cohn had a really good discussion about the best play callers, where Sark is someone who gets stolen from a lot, but he has struggled a little bit in his mid-game adaptations and knowing what to call late in the third quarter and the fourth quarter. So that's where you need to show that your players are comfortable on the field game one to do these more advanced ideas and run the motions and go into these uncomfortable formation sets that we were just talking about earlier. If that is able to be installed in week 1 and throughout the summer, and then you can still kind of hide stuff, get that win in week 1, hide stuff for those first 2 series against Ohio State. And, you score 10 points early against Ohio State. Think about how different that would be to last year's game, where you didn't get to 10 anyway, but that 7 came late. And that first half was just, if you had 7 points in that first half, the vibe going into the locker room, the confidence of Arch Manning, it's so different. And I think things are different this year. The spot you're playing at is in Austin. You have Arch Manning year 2 as a starter, but like you said, Bucky, they just have to come out of the gates faster.
Yeah. Evan Veith of Inside Texas joining us here on Bucky and BK. Last football question for me today, Evan, is about the offensive line, right? I mean, have you heard anything? I know spring practice is over. We're kind of in a lull when it comes to team activities here, but how you feeling about the offensive line? Any updates on Lawrence Seymour? And is that still the biggest concern for this offense in your eyes?
I don't know how much fans are going to like or dislike this, but I think there's more of a competition going on behind the scenes than people are giving it credit for. I think Andre Coho, however he wants us to pronounce it, is a name that people are completely kind of sweeping to the side. If you remember, I mean, Baker was probably out in front last year, but when Kojo got injured, he was there in the right tackle competition. And you almost wonder if he had another good 2 weeks. If one of those two ends up at left guard to start the season, then their season's very different. This guy is one of those Kyle Flood, big human beings, got to campus at 17 years old. I believe he's still only 20 in year 4. He's a giant player and is going to be a real mover in the run game. So either way, I think he could be a good 6th offensive lineman. But given that Seymour's coming in late and Kojo's also recovering from his injury, they're kind of starting in the same phase. And Baker's also learning the new position at guard. Siani, I think the returns have been overall, it started slow but good at right tackle. You feel like he's probably going to earn that spot this year, but I don't think the guard spots are as solidified as you might think. They like Baker. He's a really smart kid, a really great interviewer. You can tell he understands the game at a high level. Your concern is, can he play in the trenches and be a big mover at guard, which hopefully they don't ask him to do that too much, just given his size and who he is. But look out for left guard. I don't think that's so solidified. And either way, that's what you want to hear. You want to know that the team has 6 linemen, and really 7 is the number that you can be comfortable with. Finding that 7th is a little bit dicey. That might be Dylan Sikorsky, who's getting some run as center. Also could be a backup guard option, but I'm not sure I want him starting week 1.
And the center never moves. He's staying exactly where he is, and nothing happens with him.
Yeah, I mean, Connor Robertson, the goal is for him to play every snap this year. That's the hope. And Flood's done that guard rotation in the past. Maybe they do that. If you remember week 1 last year, Neto and Stroh both played. That was the most Umeazulu really played all year. And I thought he looked better than Stroh did. And I thought he should have ended up getting to play more. I don't think we're ever going to know fully what happened there. But Flood has been doing the 2 guard thing for 4 years now. And I think he'll kind of just brush that aside as we have our line. He's going to try to figure out what he's got in week 1 at that left guard spot, given that both Seymour and Kojo are on the old schedule of you start coming in the summer. That is now by the wayside. You need to be here in January doing well. So, Kojo's been recovering. Seymour's not sitting by the wayside and just being idle while he's getting his degree at Western Kentucky. They're both going to be pushing for that spot. But I would look out for more competition in the O-line than I think people are giving credit for.
Yeah, hopefully they figure out the offensive line by week 8 this year. I don't think I'm asking for much. It took until the 8th game last year to actually get the best 5 on the field. But I digress. Evan Veith of Inside Texas and InsideTexas.com. The only baseball question I have is, who's the real UT? I don't want any preview. I want 5 minutes, Evan, about – I'm so tired of that already. The series hadn't started.
Who had the logo first?
Oh, my God.
Who was throwing it up first? I actually don't really know, like, the actual answer to that. I don't know which side's going to be happy about it, but I really could not care less.
It's amazing how much people on both sides Tennessee fans are very thin-skinned, but there are some Texas fans who are seemingly taking the bait on them. So anyways, this series itself, look, Texas is the better team, Evan, but I always say desperation's a hell of a drug. I mean, the Longhorns are a lock to make the tournament. Barring a total collapse, they're probably a lock to be a top 8 seed. Tennessee, I think they've done enough, but the bracketologists out there think that they still have some work to do to get into the field. Are you worried? Look, Texas is just 1 game over 500 on the road this year. I think Tennessee's the more desperate team. I don't know if this is a trap series because Tennessee's good, but are you a little worried about Texas this weekend?
I think the average viewer might think this is a more lopsided matchup than it really is. Texas is a great team this year, and they're going to continue winning games like this, but they win a lot of close games. It's not always these, the Friday game against Mississippi State was great, but then they go and have 2 really close matchups the next day. And I know they won by a significant margin on Sunday, but right, like Brett Crossland gets a call he shouldn't be getting with the bases loaded and the best hitter on Mississippi State's team up in the 6th inning. And that one swing in that game is completely different. And if ABS is a thing, then that game is very different. It's pretty ironic that you saw a manager get ejected while complaining about the strike zone. And then they just happen to announce something that they've been working on for a while the next day. But
yep,
what you're looking at with this Tennessee team is a good lineup 1 through 8, kind of similar to Texas. They've had trouble finding that last spot. It's funny. It's between their catcher and center field spot because their catcher can also platoon as a center fielder, which you don't see very often. It's like Dalton Varsho for my MLB fans, but they're struggling to find that 9th spot. But those first 8 are good hitters, and they're, especially at home, they're gonna hit the ball around the park. And you're talking about Henry Ford, who was one of the top transfer additions and top targets this year. And Elander is in his first season coaching. There was always going to be some growing pains without Patello, but overall, this is still a good team. It's just not Tennessee that was making the title runs these last 2 years that you're accustomed to. I think where the advantage Texas has and holds is on that Saturday matchup. In theory, right? Ruger Riojas hasn't been getting the run support this year. He is, I don't want to botch the stat fully, but in SEC play, I believe they're 2-6 when he starts. And he hasn't been perfect, but he hasn't been 2-6 type of bad. And those aren't all his losses. It's a lot of bad bullpen management early in the year. And then the bat's just not showing up recently. Whereas Harrison and Volantis, I think they've lost 2 games combined all year. It's like 21-2. So you're looking at a good Friday starter in Tegan Kuhns, who is going to battle Volantis through 5 or 6 innings. And it's going to be a low scoring game tonight, I'd assume. But then you get to Saturday, and it's, the Saturday, Sunday guys, Blanco and Mack for Tennessee have been very up and down this year, and they haven't been stretching the innings as much. Blanco, that's what he's been good at. He's been an inning eater, but Riojas is the better pitcher on paper when you look at advanced stats and what he can do with a baseball in his hands. It's just the runs haven't been there, and he's gotten in trouble on batted balls in play, really. He's given up the doubles. He's given up the strung singles. He's still striking out batters at a good rate, still not walking them very much, but when they get contact and hit to the gaps, he gets in trouble. So if they get through 3 innings of his start and they haven't given up a run and they're in the lead, I think Texas has very easy sweep potential, given that they might have won on Friday with the Volantis start, which that's what they've been doing all year. But it really comes down to that Ruger Riojas start. Are you going to be able to keep that momentum if you won on Friday? Or if you didn't win on Friday, can you go and win a game with Riojas on the mound when he needs you to do it the most? And this team needs you, one more series when they lock that top 8 seed, I'd assume.
Yeah.
They probably get that with Missouri no matter what. But let's not beat around the bush here. Let's just go and get that series win right here and do it in Knoxville, in a place that's going to be a rocking environment, a lot of fun. And they're going to make it a big game, even though, they're not quite the same team they have in the past few years.
Yeah, I think this is important a series for Ruger as it is all year. I mean, he's got to continue to hold teams down. And as you said, offensively, Texas has got to pick it up for him early in the game. But he's got to show that he will be ready when it's time for these regional series to, that he can be counted on, period. Whether it's a 3-2 game, a 5-4 game, that he's got to be able to hold the fort himself too and continue to do that. Yeah, they've got to give him some run support early, but this is a big weekend for him, I believe.
Yeah, and I think you could have said that last weekend as well when he pitched phenomenal. I mean, really outside of one swing, he was untouchable at times. And
Yeah.
I wrote an article, I believe 2 or 3 weeks back, kind of when Texas was in that slump. It was, I believe, after the not right after A&M, but after the Vanderbilt series, saying, these are the 5 guys that if Texas is going to go on a run, it's because they played better to end the year. And of course, the most important players of the team are probably Volantis and Tinney and Robbins, but we know what we're going to get from them. The most important player for me in this Texas run is Ruger Riojas. If you have 2 of the best starting pitchers in the nation going at one time, which at individual points in the season, Riojas has been seen as the best, Volantis has been seen as the best. They're still 1 and 2 in FIP, which is fielding independent pitching. Basically, how good are you at striking out players while limiting walks and home runs? They're the 2 best in the SEC, and I want to say in the nation among the premier schools at least. So if they have those 2 at the top, like you're looking at Cade Anderson from last year with LSU, the way they were pitching on their run, it's hard to beat any team who 2 out of 3 series can bring out the better pitcher, and clearly the better pitcher, a top 5 in the nation. Yeah. If that's what you're getting from Ruger Riojas, and then even if just 2 of that quartet of Borba, Mendoza, Becerra, and Rodriguez are on their game, Texas can win a lot of 5-2 ball games with Sam Kozar coming out of the pen behind Volantis and Riojas. And don't discredit Luke Harrison for giving you 5 innings of 2 earned run baseball. That is so valuable in college baseball.
Yeah, Evan Veith of Inside Texas joining us. Funny enough, Tennessee is just 2-6 in Friday night games this season. So even though they're obviously trotting out their best pitcher tonight, the Longhorns had some struggles early, but obviously since Volantis took over on Friday, that hasn't been the case. So hopefully Texas can set that tone and then still have those pitching advantages on Saturday and Sunday. Last question for me, Evan, not really a Longhorn question, but I saw you tweet about this, so I kind of know how you feel. The NCAA tournament is officially expanding to 76 teams starting next year. Any redeeming qualities in your eyes, or are we massacring what was a perfect thing?
I mean, I think the only redeeming quality is that like it is hard to complain about more basketball and more sports, and I think that's the leading selling point of these suits for both football and basketball. Hey, you're getting more, you're getting better, right? It's postseason, but the round of 76 just doesn't have the same ring to it. I thought the 68 expansion was already kind of odd. Like it didn't really end up mattering all that much. It actually helped out Texas this past year. But, you look at the teams that were just the first 4 that were left out, not even the 4 behind them. Talking about Auburn and Oklahoma, who were 11-win SEC teams and a all right, I believe San Diego State team. Like it's not the kind of people who deserve to be playing for more basketball. There's a reason you have the NIT. And I know people disrespect the NIT, but like that's where those teams should be going because they don't deserve to be competing the way that the conference champions from these mid-major conferences do, or the teams who've just been playing well throughout the year. If you're either not a top 30 team or not a conference champion, it's hard for me to say that you just should be in the tournament. And you know what? That's probably the same way you could look at Texas from last year, and they made it fun. They made a run, and they've generated a lot of money for the program, and a lot of fun for Sean Miller. But if they really think this is going to stop coaches from getting fired, like, oh, because my job is more secure because there's 76 teams and I get in, like you've done the opposite. Actually, if you don't get in, there's no chance you're sticking around. If you do get in, you have to win round 1. Like you have to win when there's 76 teams. You can't be one of the 38 that's going home early. You're not a top 38 team in the nation. I don't want you as my head coach. So I think there's just a lot of misconstrued ideas from the coaches on both sports, basketball and football. I can talk even longer about. And of course it's a TV money thing, but it's just the bracket looks weird. You're ruining the 12-5 matchup that has always been the most fun game in round 1, the most likely to get an upset. Even those 4-13s feel a little bit weirder now. The play-ins are just odd. I don't like it. I don't think a lot of people like it. You do a poll of 1,000 college basketball fans who really watch, and I bet 22 out of 1,000 say that they like this expansion. It's kind of where sports is going nowadays. Need more playoffs.
It's just more. It doesn't mean it's better because it's more. It's just more.
And NBA wants to have 20 teams make a type of playoff. The MLB expanded their playoff. Soccer is not the same thing, but they expanded their UEFA Champions League. It's just every single league wants everything to be more teams get a chance to compete for a title, even though every year it feels like less and less teams deserve to compete for that national title.
It's all about the dollar bills, as we know. And I look forward to watching Bishop Sycamore play South Harmon Institute of Technology next year in the round of
coached by Drewski, right?
Yeah, exactly. Evan, great stuff as always, my friend. Really appreciate the time and enjoy the weekend. Hopefully, we get the chance to chop it up next week.
Thanks, Evan.
See you then. Thank you, guys.
There he goes. Evan Veith, Inside Texas, InsideTexas.com. I forgot to let Evan promote Inside Texas, so I'll tell you to check out the great work that they do. Fantastic people. They do a tremendous job covering the University of Texas. I'm a subscriber. I think you should be too. And yeah, this UT baseball series is interesting. Again, Texas is the better team. The records, the standings, the rankings, everything kind of shows that. But Texas hasn't been great on the road, which is why it's so important to secure a top 8 seed so you don't have to play any more true road games after this weekend. And Tennessee's desperate. They are a bubble team in the NCAA tournament. They have a losing record in conference play. That place is tough to play. It's also a bandbox there, Buck. That field is small. The ball carries. So home run, like if you're Texas pitchers, you got to keep the ball down so you don't let them hit a bunch of home runs because they've got some power in that lineup. But I think I'm a little more nervous than most Texas fans about this because I always say desperation's a hell of a drug. Texas is in a good spot right now. Tennessee is very, very desperate to win a series.
Yeah, like I said, I think Ruger needs to have a really this is really important going into after this series. So I think he needs to really do the team needs to do a good job to support him. Give him a little bit of a lead, you know?
You're right. No, he has not gotten a bunch of runs of support. It makes me wonder if his teammates even like him.
Yeah, do they come to his birthday parties?
Do people hate Ruger Riojas? Like, why don't they hit when he's pitching? They hit when Volanthus is there. They hit when Luke Harrison is out there. But
come on, man.
They didn't hit for him on Friday. Now on Saturdays, they're not hitting for him.
What's the guy? Like him.
I know. I know he's got weird hair. Well, maybe the issue is, and Ruger told us this earlier in the season, that he hasn't washed his hair in like over a year.
That's nasty.
So maybe he just like smells really bad and no one wants to be around him. So it's like, we're not going to support a weirdo like that. You know what? Yeah, get some shampoo, dude.
Yeah, that's overly weird. That's too much. Stop doing that.
That is overly
just have a shower. I don't know about the shave. Leave the mustache, but do something with that hair. Throw some soap in that hair every once in a while.
Yeah, please. We've got a very special guest joining us here in a moment. Before we chop it up with Matt King, we will give a quick round of sponsor shout-outs here, Buck.
Say hello to our friends over at Woods Comfort Systems for 70 years in Central Texas. Air conditioning, heating, of course, and now they do plumbing. Trust them for your indoor and outdoor plumbing needs. And as I said, get their technicians over there because soon it's going to be hot as you know what. And they don't want you fumbling around. They definitely don't want me messing around with the air conditioning system. Okay, yes, BK, I can put the filter in. But if my air conditioning is not exactly where I want it and it skips a little bit of a beat and it's going a little bit higher than it's supposed to be, I want my air conditioning working properly. So I call on the folks at Woods Comfort Systems. And they always tell me, Buck, do us a favor. Don't touch anything upstairs. Okay, we're going to teach you how to do the filters, but we're not going to teach you anything else. Okay, so leave everything up to them. 70 years in Central Texas, Woods Comfort Systems, nobody does it better.
WoodsComfortSystems.com, 512-842-5066. Now, you got to hire a TaskRabbit to change your air filter. Don't lie to the people. We know how you operate.
I know what to do. All you do is go in there and you take the old one out. You don't even shake it or do anything in. You throw it in the recycling bin there or whatever, if it goes in the recycle, because there's all kinds of stuff. There's trash, there's recycling. Hell, I don't know half the stuff that goes in whatever. So you do that, you turn the little twisters on, you put it back in, push it in there, and it's okay. You don't shake it around. You don't do anything to it. You don't touch any buttons.
No buttons.
No buttons. Never touch buttons.
Real quick, a shout out to CentexTickets.com. You touch buttons here. You just log on from your phone or computer to get tickets to any sporting event or concert or festival or Broadway show. Anything that you want to attend here in the great state of Texas, Centex Tickets has your seats waiting for you. Don't forget to use our promo code CENTEX10. If you type that in at checkout, you're going to get 10% off of any ticket purchase from our great friends at CentexTickets.com. All right, very special guest joining us here, a guy that we've been talking about a lot, a guy that you and I have had the chance to talk to off air multiple times, but this is the first time we've gotten to chop it up with him on the show, the founder and CEO of Gobundance, the host of the Matt King podcast, and the leader and founder and creator of the Ride Project, which we've been talking about for a long time here on Bucky and BK. Matt King joining us here on the show. Matt, it's great to see you, man. How are you?
I'm good, man. I definitely am going to have Bucky come over and change my air filters. I mean, he did such a good job of knowing which recycle or garbage can to throw it into, so I have great confidence that he's the man for the job.
Dude, I bet you know all of that stuff. I bet your wife has you down pat on don't throw that bottle in that trash can. I throw stuff in, and all of a sudden I come back in the kitchen and the bag's sitting in there. She goes, how many times did I tell you that bag does not go in the recycle? It goes in the trash. I'm like, I mean, I got things in my mind. My mind is a terrible thing as it is. But when you're telling me about, it's all trash to me. I mean, if I can't, you know, but I'm trying to do what I can for America, just like you're about to do for America too, Matt, which is, you know, the rideproject.com is really special. I know it's special to you, and you're trying to raise $1 million to give away $1 million throughout your ride and to help communities, not only in the state of Texas. You've done so many things in this state, but to get outside of this state of Texas and a 2,000-mile journey, and in every state, you're going to try to find communities or individuals that need help. That's just amazing, man.
Yeah, look, man, I think the thing that makes America so beautiful is these small communities. I mean, it was, you know, my grandfather owned a plumbing business, and my uncle owned the electrical shop, and his cousin owned the hardware store. It was like, that was what America was built on. And then big corporations come in and flyovers come in and the world changes. And look, Amazon is the greatest thing ever. Like, I love being able to order something and that day or the next day it's at my door. But there's still people inside of those little communities that have been counted down or have been dealt a bad hand. And I don't think the big organizations are doing enough to help those people that are facing adversity. And so I had the brilliant idea of like, why don't we be the people to do it? Like, we can sit here and talk about it, but like, somebody's got to help them. So why not us? And why not do it on a bike? And so starting on May 27th, we ride from Mexico all the way up to Canada. Myself, I'm the only one riding the entire journey. It'll be 150 miles a day for 13 days in a row. But we've got over 20 people signed up to ride with us at various points to just help carry the water, help support, help cheer us on, help battle the hills, help battle the headwinds. And more than anything, guys, help find the people in these communities and just help them be seen and help them feel loved and help them just for a moment see some glimmer of hope and some joy in their lives.
You know, throughout the whole journey, I mean, taking time to get your rest, that's got to be important, man. I mean, it's just, you don't just go and get like a quick half-hour nap. I mean, you have to rest. How are you going to get an opportunity to meet these people? It's going to be less rest and a lot of time spent shaking hands and saying hello to communities and folks, individuals?
Yeah, you know, that's a really good question, Bucky. And I go back to, like, I'm treating this like a deployment. I was never brave enough to be in the military. I love the men and women that defend this country. I was never brave enough to do that. But I'm really treating this like a deployment. And I go back to when I was growing up, there was a motivational video on YouTube that I would listen to constantly when I was working out. And it talked about how they interviewed 50 Cent. He was on the scene of a movie. And they said, you've got the water business, you got the soundtrack, you got this movie, like 50, when do you sleep? And what he said was, sleep is for those people who are broke. I've got an opportunity to make my dreams a reality. And I'm just treating it like this, man, like 13 days. If I get 4 hours a day of sleep, I'll be good. Like, this isn't my moment to sleep. This is my moment to provide hope, to provide joy, to provide opportunity to people that don't have it right now. I'll sleep later. I can sleep later. But, you know, I think the other thing I would just recognize is, like, life is finite. Like, there's no doubt about it. We're all going to die. Like, it sucks. It's terrible to talk about, but it is finite. We just don't know when our number is going to get called. And so I'm making sure that I do everything I can to live my life to the fullest and provide as much impact to the people I come in contact with throughout the journey. I've got 3 amazing young kids, a 7-year-old, a 5-year-old, a 1-year-old. I want them to see their dad, who wasn't a cyclist 5.5 months ago, ride his bike all the way across the country and give away $1 million. Because if they see that, what will they be capable of doing in their lifetime? And if people follow along on the journey and they see, after riding for 10 hours in a day, we have time to go to the small diner and talk to the waitress and find out she's a single mother with no car and give her the keys to a new car, what will they be inspired to do the next time they go to a restaurant? Maybe it's just say hi. Maybe it's to give a handshake. Maybe it's to give a bigger tip. I don't know. But I just think the world is busy, but life is finite. And so I think really we have to find time to slow down a little bit and make time for the people around us, the people we come in contact with. So Bucky, I keep telling people, sleep. I'll do that when I'm dead. I don't need
There
to
you
sleep
go.
right now.
Plenty of time to
sleep
sleep then.
Yeah, well, it's truly inspirational. Matt King joining us here on Bucky and BK. Well, you mentioned it, Matt. Like, you're not a lifelong cyclist. You're not a Tour de France guy or anything like that. You just started training. So what's the regimen been like, and how are you kind of preparing yourself for this 2,000-mile journey across the country?
Well, I'm a big believer in hiring coaches. I mean, we're talking to one of the best running back coaches of all time on this. Like, we know the value of coaches, right? So I hired a coach when I set out to do this 5.5 months ago. He's training for the Olympics on the bike, so clearly he knows cycling. And he's got me like on a strict routine. Usually it's somewhere between 3 and 6 hours a day on the bike. But because in addition to the bike, I run businesses and I have a family, most of my training takes place between 3 a.m. and 7 a.m. I don't know whoever called that thing on the bike a seat, but that is the worst name for that thing. That thing is the most uncomfortable thing I have ever experienced in my entire life. But yeah, man, just putting in the work, following the experts, asking a lot of questions, failing a little bit along the way, BK. Like, I've taken some falls because I didn't know how to unclip the shoes, but I think that's how we learn in life. Like, you've got to be willing to fail and get back up. But it's been a lot of training. It's been mostly 20 to 35 hours a week on the bike. And just putting in the time, putting in the effort, getting the body right, back-to-back days, some outdoor training camps. We really mimicked like what a football team would do. Like, if it works for them, it should work for us. So we did 2 training camps. We've done back-to-back 105-mile days. We did a training camp 2 was 150 followed by 121. So like, myself, my team, we're all putting in the reps to be prepared to do this at the end of May.
Spiritually, it's got to be something special for you. I mean, deep down, I mean, you had to make a lot of sacrifice to your diet, things like that, getting the right kind of rest. And once again, rest is important when you're saying you're getting up at 3 o'clock in the morning. So you can't be jacking around at midnight playing games and doing stuff. You got to be asleep and getting ready to get up just in a couple hours now. How about diet-wise? Maybe this is for BK to help BK out. Are you on a pretty good diet where you're not just throwing stuff in just for the sake of doing it? Do you have a regimented diet on a nightly basis?
The best part about it, Bucky, is I'm working out so much, I can eat whatever the heck I want to eat. I can have a Blizzard from Dairy Queen.
Now
I can have
talking.
a cheeseburger from Whataburger. Like, I can do whatever I want, and I still can't gain weight because I'm working so much. But really what I've focused on for this next 3 weeks leading up to the ride is really foods that are going to help keep my inflammation levels low. That's going to be like the biggest issue is inflammation. So really cutting out a lot of the sugars. Unfortunately, because there's so much energy being exerted, the carb intake has to be really high. I'm not a huge carb guy outside of this. So it's a lot of pastas and just a lot of like carbs to try to recover and to your point, get that rest those muscles in the body needs. But really right now I'm focused on like an anti-inflammatory diet to just keep inflammation levels low until we go out there and hit the road.
And your wife, your support system, what is she? I mean, she's got to be all in. It can't be just a little bit. Well, what about this? What about if you fall?
Yeah.
How all in is she? All in?
Ben, my wife is the most amazing human, Bucky, because of 2 things. 1, she's the biggest cheerleader, but 2, she's always my biggest critic. When I went to her and told her what I was going to do, the first thing she said to me was, "You can't do this." And I think there was a part of her that believed it, but I think there was a bigger part of her that knows I'm the kind of guy that likes to keep receipts, and that I use that as fuel. I like that little chip on my shoulder. And so she's done an amazing job of supporting me, but she's also found really good opportunities to kick me in the shins and remind me just, like if I really want to hear her opinion, to ask it, and she'll remind me how far I have to go yet and how much of a not cyclist I am and all the things I need to do better at.
So once this is done, she will hear for this. She'll hear about this for years to come. This is everlasting right here once you do this.
It is, and she's gonna join us for a couple days on the journey. Like I said, we've got like 21 Gobundance guys joining us at various points. I mean, these are guys literally putting their life on hold to fly to our route all across the country. Some of which, Bucky, have said they won't even get on a bike. Some of which, BK, have said, I will be drinking vodka sodas in the RV and cheering you on from the air conditioning. But but they understand what it looks like to show up for people doing something big. I mean, we've raised $461,000 as of yesterday so far on our mission to raise $1 million. And I'm just incredibly humbled. We've got people that I've never met donating $25, $50. A guy last week donated $100,000. Like, I've never fundraised for anything in my life. So to see somebody donate $100,000, I about damn near fell off the bike. But I think that's what happens when you're willing to put a flag in the ground and make a stand for something bigger than yourself, is like the world comes to support you and people want to see you win. And the cool part is like people also want to see me fail, and I'm excited about that. Like, I want people to not believe in it. I like that.
Keeping receipts, right?
Keeping receipts.
You got the ultimate scoreboard when you get this thing done. TheRideProject.com for more information and to donate. And you kind of answered this earlier, Matt, but like, why this? Because look, you're a philanthropic guy. This is not your first effort into something like this, but you can make an impact across communities with money, with things that aren't as difficult and don't require as much training as cycling 2,000 miles from Mexico to Canada. Like, what was the inspiration and the idea behind like this exact feat?
Yeah, so there's a fellow Austinite. He's a friend of mine. His name is Matthew Johnson. He ran across Texas, and he did it twice. And he did it to raise money for veterans to get them back into community. And last year when he was raising money, I helped him with some of his fundraising efforts, and then I went and ran with him for a day. And that was on the heels of Bucky hounding me to donate a golf cart to that golf tournament of his, from Tractor Supply. That dude's relentless, that Bucky guy. But I just had this weird calling to be like more of in service to people I didn't know. Like, I'm genuinely a very service-based human, but not necessarily to strangers. And when I was out there with Matt Johnson, I just was like, man, this guy put his entire life on hold for 19 days to run from Oklahoma to Mexico. Like, that's insane. And I left there and I just said, like, what can I do? And BK, the first idea I had, because running is not, I'm not opposed to running, but I've ruptured my Achilles tendon twice. And so I'm not eager to run. So the first idea I had was I'll ride my bike across Texas. And honestly, BK, I looked at myself in the mirror. I was like, you coward, that guy just ran across the state. You're going to get on a damn bike. Like, you might as well just say you're going to drive across the state. Like, what's the point of that? And so my immediate next thought was like, I'll go from Mexico to Canada. And my initial thought was I'll raise $250,000. And I talked to one of my friends, a mentor, one of the co-founders of Gobundance, and I said, hey, like, this is what I'm thinking of doing. And he's like, 250? Does that number scare you? I'm like, I think we can do it. He's like, well, then why don't you do $1 million? I'm like, well, I don't know if we can do that. He's like, well, then that's the number. I'm like, you know what? You're right. That's the number. Like, do things that scare you. And so it just kind of was really inspired by watching what Matt did. And then kind of creating my own journey based off of feedback, intuition, fear. Like, I wasn't excited to ride a bike. I could tell you my bike looks really good hanging on the wall in the garage. It doesn't necessarily look as good with me sitting on it, but, I just really lean into the discomfort, and I recognize, BK, that oftentimes the magic we're seeking in our life lies on the other side of the work we've been unwilling to do. And I have been unwilling to show up for people that I don't know and give whatever I have to help them. And so this was really like, you want to keep cowering from it, or are you going to step up and do it? And might as well do it in a big way.
Well, you do things in a big way, and your work now. I think you've been over to see the Berg Center, the boys at the Berg Center, and see what they're all about. They're doing some unbelievable work over there to help those 32 boys that have really, through no fault of their own, ended up at a place like that, as wards of the state. And once they hit 18, they got to go. You can't stick around there until you're 21. You got to leave. So, but for folks like you that have been a big part of that and are being a big part of that, that's important. And what you're doing right now, Matt, is something very. It's more of a lesson to a lot of folks. I know it's the physical part is for you, the mental part is for you and your family, but what you're doing for folks that are listening today and folks that will meet you along the way is really, really special, because it's kind of generational. It'll go through, they'll do something for their kids. Their kids will see them do something that's very special. And that's what we need to more of in this country, not just in this state, but in this country, just to pass things on. So as you said, we get into AI, we get into all these high tech things, but the simple things of the plumber, the store owner, the local business. I mean, we got to make sure those people still can survive and they can still thrive too.
Absolutely. And the people who have just been dealt a bad hand, like to your point, the Burke Center, man, what an incredible place. We went and did a give back there on the first training camp. We met a 14-year-old boy whose mother's in prison, never met his father. His sister's been adopted, so he can't talk to her until she's 18 and he's 18, assuming he can find her.
Yes.
And here's a boy by himself, 6 hours from where he grew up, trying to manage anger in an environment with no friends, no family, totally alone. And it's a reminder that like perspective is really powerful. And when I look now at the headwind or the hill or the mileage for the day, I'm like, man, this is hard, but it's by choice. That boy's life, he didn't choose that. No kid should have to go through that shit. So to be able to show up for people in those moments, I think is just really special.
It is. And
Well
thank
said.
you once again, buddy.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I
before we-
appreciate you guys, man.
Yeah.
And hopefully Texas can win a national championship in football this year, Bucky.
Yeah, well, they're on the right path right now, but they got a lot of work to do. You know, just like you've had to work at what you're doing, they've got a lot in a short period of time. It's coming. It's just around the corner. These couple months, that football season will be right upon us, just like your ride is just about upon you, my friend.
Now, not a couple months. He's got a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Right? It's
Three
right
weeks.
here.
3
3
weeks.
Matt, before
No,
we
man,
let you go,
appreciate you guys.
yeah, I was going to say therideproject.com. Hopefully we get the chance to talk to you either right before or maybe at some point during the trip if you've got the energy. But, you know, therideproject.com to donate. But for folks who kind of want to follow along or learn more about everything, you know, social media, what's the best way to learn more about the ride?
Yeah, if they go to the website, either the Ride Project or backtheride.com, either one will take them to the same landing page. They can find links to social media, YouTube, all that stuff. We'll have a YouTube video drop every single day documenting the day prior. So starting on the 26th, there will be a YouTube video a day for 14 days. And if folks are lucky, they might even see Bucky get on a bike for a couple miles. We'll see if we can get him. We'll see if we can get him out there pedaling a little bit.
You know that wonderful electric cart that you got for the boys over there. You may see me in that and having somebody drive me around close to you, but I don't know
that's called golf, Bucky. That's not called biking. That's called golf.
Yeah.
You'll see Buck on the cart, and I'll be with your boys drinking vodka sodas at the airport or something. Matt, this was great, man. Thanks for all you do, and thanks for joining us today.
Yeah, I appreciate you.
We'll talk to you soon, buddy.
Thanks, guys.
There
Thank
you go.
you.
Matt King, therideproject.com. Great guy, great cause. And yeah, he talks about other people putting his life on hold. He is putting his life on hold. He's a father of 3 young kids. He works, he runs a couple of businesses, and he is stopping everything that he's doing to ride 2,000 miles across the country to help those who need it. Truly inspirational. And again, an incredible cause and a great way to support folks around the country. TheRideProject.com for more information.
No doubt about it, man. He's a fantastic guy.
And hopefully, I don't know if he'll have the energy to do it, but like, man, I want to talk to him in the middle of his journey. Just get like a status update. Like,
well, it'd be nice to talk about some of the people that he's met along the way, you know?
Yeah.
He's going to do that. He's going to want to do that for sure.
It's really cool, man. Really, really cool. And you know what else is cool about it?
What's that?
I don't have to do it.
It's cool. It's really cool that he's doing it and not us.
I've donated on therideproject.com, and I probably will again. But, you know, I'm not doing 2,000 miles. Nobody wants that, by the way.
Yeah. As he said, folks, $25, $10, whatever you've got, therideproject.com, it all make a difference along his route. It really, really will. 100%. I mean, Mexico to Canada, $150 a day.
Yeah, I don't know, like, with all the times I've been on a bike in my life, if I've totaled 150 miles. And he's doing that in one day, and he's doing that 13 days in a row. How's he getting back? Is he biking? But now probably. I should have asked. Hey, you walking back or what? What's the deal?
Spirit. He ain't flying Spirit, or you won't get back either.
No, he ain't. All right, we'll get to the BBK news in a moment. The latest on the Mike Vrabel, Diana Rossini story that keeps on giving. And also, if we have time, a little road rage incident out of Dallas, which
nice.
I want to get the Bucks' thoughts on who's in the right and who's in the wrong here. But before we get to that, how about another round of sponsor shout-outs?
Folks, our good friends over at Hat Creek Burger Company. It's a great place for food, great place for folks, and it is really a wonderful place to bring your kids. They've got a wonderful playscape there. at all the Hat Creek Burgers. And Mom and Dad, if you'd like to have a little margarita at the end of the day while they enjoy their hamburger, their fries, their shakes. BK, Wednesday was a Hat Creek Burger Day. I'm making a Friday a Hat Creek Burger Day too. Hey,
going twice?
Yeah, well, if Matt can do it, why can't I do it? Look at me. My body type. I'm trying to gain weight. So if I want to gain weight, I need a double, maybe some of those queso fries, but I can't have nuggies. I can't have it all. But it is a shake day. I'm feeling good. And, you know, my favorite over there is a strawberry with the cherry on the top. That's what I'm looking for over at Hat Creek Burger. Folks, they got over 30 locations in the state of Texas, born and bred right here, 2008, right in Austin, Texas. As I said, the great playgrounds. But what it is all about really there is they've got those accessories. That's the fries and everything. Folks, the burgers are absolutely delicious at Hat Creek Burger Company.
Yes, indeed. Shout out to Hat Creek. Also, shout out to Qualis Roofing and Construction, the big Q. Something's wrong with your roof, or you want to make sure that nothing is wrong with your roof. We've had some crazy storms here over the last few weeks, and we might have some more coming up over these next few days. Reach out to our friends at Qualis Roofing and Construction. Look, your insurance companies recommend that you get your roof inspected twice a year. Qualis says you don't need to do twice, but once a year, probably a good idea. This is one of the most important parts of your home. This is the thing that protects you and your loved ones. Qualis will come out to your place for free, and they will inspect your roof, and they will let you know, hey, everything's good, or maybe not. It might be time to look at this. If you've been a homeowner, you're in a house that was built in the 70s, the 80s, the 50s, whatever, and just there hasn't been work done on the roof for a long time, reach out to these guys. They'll come out to your place for free. And again, if you have them out for a free inspection, they will buy you a Texas Longhorns t-shirt. That's how much they want your business. They are fantastic people. They've been around. They're going to stay around. They've got a great crew here in Central Texas. They also have a crew up in the Metroplex as well. More than 700 5-star reviews online, A+ rated by the BBB. Everything you want when you're having people working on your home, Qualis Roofing and Construction, they check those boxes. Plus, they have drones, too, that'll go look at your
There
roof.
you go.
I love the drones. QualisGC.com, 512-257-0033 for Qualis Roofing and Construction.
Somebody said that thing is not a seat, it's a saddle.
Yeah, the bike seat is not comfortable. I don't understand how throughout all of these years of human life and all of the great inventions that we've had as a society, how we haven't been able to come up with a more comfortable bike seat.
Because we have Gobund powder. That's what keeps Gobund powder, those people in business.
Feels like the inventor of that just, they wanted to screw you.
Yeah, that's not a comfortable. And those type of cycles, that thing is even smaller.
Yeah.
In that area. You know what I mean? In that area.
You can put a little cushion on it, but it ain't doing the trick.
No, man.
I don't know why someone isn't like, let's put like a really like a relax the back, like cushiony, like
with the massage in the back on your neck.
Yeah. Instead, why do I have to have this like hard?
Yeah, that's called
plastic?
A car. It's called a car.
Why is this hard plastic sticking up my ass right now? Like I don't need this.
No, that's what you get for a car. Yeah.
I don't get it. That may be the hardest part of the entire ride is sitting on that damn seat for as long as
it's gotta be.
And that's about to do it. That is crazy. All right. The BBK news today. The gift that keeps on giving, Mike Vrabel and Diana Rossini. I mean, every time you think we might be done with this story, some old video, some old picture.
No more pictures.
Oh, well, we go back to 2021. Wow. Where a video has gone viral within the last couple of days. Mike Vrabel and former NFL insider Diana Rossini renting a boat together. And not only were they doing that, she was pregnant at the time. Here's a little TMZ clip for you here. There's Mike Vrabel walking on some boat dock somewhere. There's Diana Rossini up ahead. Wait for her to turn around a little bit. Oh, she is with child. She's pregnant. And the two of them shared a boat together. They were the only people on board their boat for their 2 to 3 hour rental. And that was the child that Diana gave birth to that she named Michael.
Dude, I mean, that guy, when these things keep popping up, he had to say to his wife, hey, it was only this one time. You know, he had this.
Oh, I'm sure they both said that. Like, it was once. Like, sorry, it's the first time. I just met him. We were drunk. Whatever.
Yeah.
Years.
And they're saying it to each other. They're going, his wife and her husband are going, I thought you told me it was just this one. Didn't you just tell me it was just one time and one time only?
No.
No.
It is a mess. So, yep. I just want to know who the kid is or whose kid the
now
kid
you
is.
got to have that, right? Now we got to test the blood and the whole works now, right?
I'm not so sure. Apparently, a lot of our audience is tired of this, so maybe no one cares about Mike Vrabel and Diana Rossini anymore. Of course, our resident Patriots fan, Rob, is tired of this because he wants to make sure Mike Vrabel is going to be coaching again and not going to lose his job over it. That's surprising, but look, people have affairs all the time. When you're celebrities, this is how this is going to work. So I'm not going to let those cheaters get away with it.
Yeah, you're not done with these two, are you?
No, the internet's going to keep coming up with stuff, and it's going to keep finding me, and I'm going to keep bringing it up on this show.
They'll go back to their high school days when they got together too. So don't worry about it. There's more to come.
That's so good. The pregnant wife too. Naming the kid Michael. It's diabolical.
Boy, his wife is going, listen, I thought you told me it was just this one time. Every time I turn around, one of my friends, I mean, that alone means you gotta get going, because that alone, my friend Susie told me that what? I mean, it's coming at him every night.
It ain't.
He doesn't get there's no, and he doesn't.
Sounds like Diana Rossini was coming at him every night.
Yeah, she was coming at him every night.
It feels that way. So there's that. I love it. I think it's awesome. Diana Rossini, I don't know how she gets another job as an NFL insider again, but someone may hire her. I don't know. She's a big name.
She knows how to get the scoop.
Right. She'll get clicks. She'll get clicks. She'll get impressions. So, like you said, she does whatever it takes to find the story, it appears.
Absolutely, man.
I'm sure there's other rumors coming our way with those too. One more video here before we get to why today's not so bad. Got a little, I don't know if this is road rage because no one got out of their car. We've shown some clips on this show where, people will take a baseball bat to another car. People will punch a rear view mirror off of a car. Someone will flash a gun in somebody's face, whatever. No one got out of the car here. This is just a little moment in Dallas, trying to merge near the 30-45 split near downtown Dallas. And we got a little trading paint going on here.
Yeah,
I'm getting black Audi in this red convertible. They couldn't decide whose turn it was on this merge, and they are bumping and grinding, sir.
Ooh.
Who's in the right here?
Let me see who's the one on the inside. Just give way. There's nobody behind you. You can go ahead and break up a little bit. Now, I don't like people that try to jump in there like that, but I'm not going through all of that. I'll just slow down. There's nobody. The person behind him is far enough behind that I can slow up and let that person on through. I always think maybe this person has an emergency. All they're trying to do is get there 5 minutes sooner than they would. But I'm not going to I'm not going to have somebody hit my car. I'll just back away.
This is like 2 seconds.
Yeah, I'm going to back away.
This is 2 lanes going to one, and it's like, okay, either you're slightly ahead or you're slightly behind.
Right.
And these cars, I mean, it's like they'd rather hurt their car than they're going to go first.
No, yeah, that's ridiculous. As stubborn as I can be about drivers like that, I'll go ahead and back away from it.
Just merge, and you should do the zipper for. This video is not long enough to know what happened before. The zipper is the way to go with something like that, where it's one car from one lane and one car from the other lane in a merge, and that's just
slide in. Yeah,
you just alternate who goes. So if someone broke the rule of the zipper, then okay, I get the frustration, but this doesn't. I don't know if this is this here. This is just black car trying to merge and red car. Steelers fan, you see they got that Steelers bumper sticker.
Yeah, you're not getting in here, Cowboys fan.
Saying, we can't accept that.
So now they got to go get the paint done. It's going to cost them about $3,000. It's all scraped up. No, just go ahead and hit the brake a little bit. Let that person slide in. They're in a hurry. Oh, I'm in a hurry too. That'll be the thing. Well, I had to get some. No, you can back away.
You're in a hurry to sit in rush hour traffic in
Yeah,
Dallas?
yeah, because once you even merge there, you're going to hit it. It's still going to be
I know.
backed up.
You're going on to 30 or 45. Good luck.
Yeah.
You'll be sitting there for a while anyways. So,
but
yeah.
Sometimes people feel like they got to do what they got to do. I was here first. This is just what's going to happen. I'd rather for you to hit my car than just to back away from this. Or even to keep it down the outside lane. That guy could have slowed down, let that red car just go, and then slid. There was nobody behind him close enough.
The funniest part about road rage, and my dad always says this, it's like all you have to do is just move your right foot like 6 inches to the left. That's all you have to do. And instead, people freak out and lose their minds, and people get killed over this stuff when literally all you have to do is move your foot 6 inches to the brake, and that's it.
And then let somebody go or do whatever you have to do. If they're in a hurry, let it be them that's in the hurry.
I know.
So what?
So what? All right, real quick, why today's not so bad.
Road rage when the guy wanted me to run over the baby ducks. That's been my
yeah, you did. You've had some road rage incidents that you've talked about on this.
Yeah, the baby duck one was out here where I am on out here in Dripping Springs was the worst, where the guy was screaming at me. He wanted me to run over a gaggle of ducks going across the street, and I slowed down, and he zips behind me, and then I get behind him, and I'm blowing the horn at the stop sign, and I'm waiting for him to get out because now I'm between. And if he comes out of that truck, I'm about to squish him. I'm about to pin him into his truck over the ducks, and that would have been over the ducks.
You were about to kill a man over little duckies.
I wasn't going to run over the ducks.
Maybe the guy didn't know there were ducks there.
Possibly.
Maybe he thought you were just stopping in the middle of the road. It's like,
yeah, what do I do? Stop and I don't just stop in the middle of the road.
Well, some drivers in their 70s.
Hey, be careful with that.
Perhaps would just stop in the middle of the road. I don't know. Yeah.
So the reason why I'm stopped, I may have stopped. I don't stop for rattlesnakes or squirrel. I stop for the duckies.
You stop for ducks.
I don't swerve. I don't swerve.
Ducks and kids, but if you're not adults and not other animals, right?
Yeah, if you're a grown-up crossing that road and you're a grown man and I hit you, that's your problem. Why are you crossing the road not quick enough? Hey. If you're a kid, I'm going to slow up. I'm not swerving for squirrels. I do swerve. I put the brakes on for the ducks.
Right. Hey, the Isley brothers were playing. I was listening. I wasn't paying attention to your ass. You shouldn't have been crossing the street.
That's right.
Remember that. Why today matters. Hey, happy birthday to our guy Jason's son, Jeremiah, turning 4.
Happy birthday, Jeremiah.
Love that. Hopefully Jeremiah listens from time to time. Actually, hopefully for your sake as a parent, Jason, he doesn't.
Yes.
A couple other birthdays that Jeremiah shares a birthday with. It could have been said better. J.J. Watt, 37 years old.
There you go.
The best defensive players in NFL history. Adrian Beltre, 47 years old. Hall of Famer, one of my favorite Texas Rangers of all time.
Oh, did your Rangers get a win? Oh, they didn't get that win.
No, they didn't. The Rangers aren't very good, and the Yankees are very good. And you're good looking. I'm ugly. You're smart. I'm dumb.
No,
what do you want me to say, man?
It's early in the season. It's early.
It ain't going to happen this year. I got my one. I said if they win one, I don't care what they do for the next 10 years. We're only in like year 3 after. So
it's true.
I feel like the deal I made with the devil is coming to fruition, you know?
Yes.
Bill Cowher, 69. Nice.
Kemba
Walker, 36. Enrique, there it is. Iglesias, 51. I feel like you like his music, Buck.
Not really.
Oh, and Melissa Gilbert, Laura Ingalls Wilder on
Little House on the Prairie,
62 today.
How old is she?
62.
Yeah. Okay.
And on this day, the birth of Coca-Cola back in 1886, Dr. John Pemberton, pharmacist in Atlanta, served his first glass of Coca-Cola at Jacob's Pharmacy. He sold 9 glasses a day in his first year. They now serve 1.9 billion beverages daily.
We got taking the Coke out now, though. It's not quite as strong.
They took the Coke out of the Coke.
Yeah.
It's very disappointing. I mean, that's a great decision. Sorry.
Yeah, good decision on their part.
So today is National Have a Coke Day in honor of that. National Coconut Cream Pie Day.
No.
National Give Someone a Cupcake Day, and National Military Spouse Appreciation Day. Shout out to you military spouses out there. All right.
And, of course, Mother's Day coming up on Sunday. Take care of your mom, folks.
Take care of your mom. Sue Patrick.
If you got your mom, take good care of her.
So, yeah, amen. Amen. I'm very, very fortunate to still have mine, and I know you think of yours on Mother's Day every year.
Day.
Well, hey, get mom a gift at Sue Patrick. Get her tickets to a concert at Centex Tickets. Get her a shake at Hat Creek Burger.
Hey, get her some gummies.
Get her gummies from Early Bird, beer from Altstadt, TV from AV Consultations, a new bathroom from McCall Custom Homes.
Hey, what a weekend that'll be for.
Relax the back chair. If you don't buy all of those things for your mom, you hate your mom. So just remember that.
Right.
Happy Mother's Day to all the moms out there. And everyone enjoy the weekend. Great show, my friend. Thank you all
Same to you, buddy,
for tuning in. And we'll talk to you all again on Monday.
Hook 'em.
Hook 'em.